Yo, what is going down, y'all? Welcome in the Most Underrated Podcast. You already know.
Hell yeah!
Broadcasting from Most Underrated Studios. I'm your man, Thomas the Franchise. The homie, Dal Palantonio, chilling across from me. Fellas, how we doing, man? How was the weekends?
The weekends, man. I don't know, man. A lot of football.
Yeah.
And I loved every minute of it.
I guess we saw each other a lot more than we have been because I was kind of trying to make up for lost time with the cruise and banging out reviews, and we were all here working. So it's not like we didn't really see each other a ton. We didn't get together for the fights.
We didn't.
We were going to get together for the fights, but after we worked all day Saturday, Ed couldn't come down. It just didn't make a ton of sense.
Right.
We did something else. But
we worked our ass off on Saturday, putting out reviews and content.
Exactly.
Tell you that.
No doubt. Welcome everybody in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're not, if you're catching the replay on demand, if you're listening on audio only, shout out to you guys as well, man. Appreciate you guys over there on that side. Is everything good with the chat? It shows yellow on my screen. Or not the chat, but the...
It says good.
The stream is good. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure we're good there.
I just had a good stream in the bathroom.
Nice one, Dal. All right. Starting the show with a little piss humor. Good.
Well, because I had to protect myself. Jalal says I was pre-dumping. I was not.
Oh,
this
really?
was not the TTF pre-dump.
Really good. Really good.
I had a great stream.
A lot of stuff on the show today. Shout out to the affiliates, SeatGeek, Pure Spectrum CBD, Hefe Lux, Blackstone Labs. Shout out to you guys for always supporting the Most Underrated Podcast. Make sure you check out the affiliate websites, the links, and the codes as we run them down for you throughout the show, man. It really helps the show out. And shout out to everybody on Patreon. Let's just start there. A big shout out to the patrons. You guys got something special on Saturday night.
Hell yeah.
We dropped the Patreon exclusive, supremely underrated champion hoodies, which if you have not seen them, shoot yourself. Don't do that. If you have not seen them, get yourself together. Get your life together, man. Hit up social media and check them out. If you're not on Patreon, get yourself on Patreon. This is the kind of stuff that you can get on Patreon. And we've said that we're getting ready to drop more and more shit for patrons. You know, the patrons have been there for us. We really appreciate you guys. I gave you guys a big shout out last episode. Talked about you're basically helping us pay our rent here at the studio. And thank you to you guys, man. This is a thank you to you guys. It's Patreon exclusive. There is no public drop. These are not coming out again. These are not coming out for the public. This will be a one-time only. It is a Navy champion hoodie with the red supremely underrated box logo like you saw on the black tees that we dropped a month or so, a couple months ago. Yep. And dope, man. Really dope quality. Obviously, champion hoodie. Nice, heavy hoodie. Print, super clean. We're getting a lot of good feedback and a lot of love on the supremely underrated tees. Yeah. So shout out to you and Jalal on that, man, because I don't really deal with as much of the merch side as you guys. I kind of do a little bit of graphic stuff, some logo stuff, and maybe just quality analysis, you know. But overall, you guys getting it up on the website, choosing the printer, dealing with the printer, going and picking it up, all that stuff. Shouts to you guys for holding that down.
You bet.
Yeah, man. Great stuff. So supremely underrated hoodies on Patreon. Make sure you cop. Those will expire Wednesday at midnight. That's when the pre-order ends, man. We're done with the pre-order. It's super limited. So if you did not get one yet, or if you're trying to get one, make sure you do that. It expires Wednesday at midnight Mountain Time. Like I said, tons of topics. Obviously, AFC, NFC Championship. We'll dive into that later on in the show. We have a few different on this day for you. A lot of stuff going on this day. Happy MLK Day to everybody, man. Out there, if you were, meant to the applause. Happy MLK Day to everybody, man. Whether you were working or if maybe you got the day off, you work for the Gov, something like that. You teach school, you got the day off, you're enjoying us, the Most Underrated Podcast. Shout out to you, and shout out to Martin Luther King. Happy birthday, or happy MLK Day. I know his birthday was on the 15th, but we'll get into that in the on this day as well. We'll talk some UFC. Big fights over the weekend. UFC 246, we previewed that on the last show. We'll get into that. I have some sound for you, some sound from the post-fight pressers, some sound from the actual event itself, so we'll get into that. That'll be a lot of fun. But let's start with music. Last Friday, the day after we recorded last week's the end of the week show there on Thursday when we came back from vacation, Friday, Eminem surprised us out of nowhere. Actually, it was 10 p.m. on Thursday night. That's East Coast time. It was midnight at East Coast.
Yep.
M drops a surprise album. Mac Miller drops an album, and there was some rumblings of that. I didn't know the Mac Miller album was coming out then. I knew we had kind of talked about it coming, but I didn't know that it was going to be that quick. So that was cool. I was excited about both of those. And then I had Royce the 5'9" dropped a new single as well on Friday. So there was a lot of music stuff going on. I'll kind of fill you in. And that Royce the 5'9", if you're up on him, whether you're not up on him, that was important because there was some shots fired in that, and we could have our first real hip-hop beef of 2020. I think you had Eminem, Nick Cannon firing shots at M to end 2019, but I think this will kind of kick that off. So I want to talk a little bit about that first, but let's start with the M album.
Yeah.
Or actually, let's start with the Mac Miller album. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's what we were just listening to. The single Good News off the new Mac Miller album. Very, very chill. A very, let me put that on really quick. I can't do this in the background. Very chill album. Something that I wasn't expecting, but I'm very glad we got it. What are your impressions on the album? Did you get to listen to it a bunch, or did you just only run it through once, or how did you consume that?
Yeah, the Mac Miller, I've been listening to the whole entire weekend, man. Every time I'm getting in the ride, man, I'm popping that on just because it's so easy to listen to. With the Eminem, you're going to have to carry me on that one a little bit. I've only kind of run that, ran it one time through.
Damn it, I was expecting you to carry me. No,
and I'll tell you, man, I've got some
Jalal picked us up on the Eminem.
Got some good insights
you can carry
to
us
it.
on the Eminem, Jalal.
Yeah, totally. But I don't know, man. What I really, really enjoy about this was, there's really not a lot of rapping on this album. And it's not that I don't like Mac Miller rapping or not rapping. I don't really care. I just like Mac Miller. I'm here to support. But what I really, really enjoyed about this is there's so much lo-fi within this. I'm a big lo-fi guy here lately. So I listen to the Chill radio station on channel, I think it's 53 on XM Sirius.
Oh, nice. I know
because when I get in the car, dude,
Yep.
I'm already so anxious, dude. I take medication for anxiety, for God's sakes, you know what I mean? But for me, having that lo-fi, it's just easy to listen to, whether it's in the morning, whether it's at night. It kind of relaxes me a little bit. And then you have, obviously, some singer-songwriter stuff, but there's a lot of kind of upbeat within the music, but man, it's talking about some dark shit. So it's really odd how this individual could put this together like this. And, you almost want to give shots to, what's his name? The co-producer, John Bryan? Is that
John Bryan, yeah.
Which he's obviously been known for doing a lot of stuff like this, right? Where you have artists kind of struggling to kind of get their new identity, their new birthing process. John Bryan comes in there and has done that to a lot of big artists of our time, correct?
Yeah, oh yeah. He's worked with Kanye West, Janelle Monáe, and that's kind of that's the first vibe I got, was a Kanye West vibe from this. I got a really, I don't know, just a dope, it was almost like I'm not really getting what I want from Kanye right now, or I don't really know what I want, but the things he's doing, I guess I don't really love. That's a better way to put it. But this felt like, I was like, man, it almost made you even more more sad just listening to it, because you're like, damn, this is where he was going. Jalal said it best on Saturday. We were like, man, this is like he just arrived,
Yeah.
Like this is him arriving into adulthood, right? He became famous and the mixtape shit and the rap stuff so young that he's a person, man. He's grown into a whole nother person. He's kind of starting this new chapter of his life. And you said it as well on Saturday. If you could put this album into anything, it would be like the Tiny Desk concert that he did
With NPR?
on NPR. It would be like that into an album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of that feel and that vibe. And man, I just love it. I love everything he was doing there. And I don't know if you guys have Apple Music, but if you do, there's some really, really cool stuff in the notes. And it talks about John Bryan meeting Mac Miller for the first time in 2018 when he was doing when he put out the swimming album. And he said that Mac comes in, plays like 5 or 6 things from the some stuff he was working on, and there was more hip-hop leaning stuff. He said it was great, funny, and personal, but the tracks were already pointing someplace interesting. After I got a couple of those done, he says, let me see, I've got these other things that I'm not sure what to do with. Those other things were the beginning of the album Circles. And Mac Miller had envisioned Circles as a counterpart to Swimming, one that finds him exploring levels of musicality and melody and vulnerability he'd only hinted at before. Like I said, with John Bryan working Fiona Apple as well. That's the other one I couldn't think of. Kanye, Janelle Monáe, Fiona Apple. I think he was the perfect collaborator to help him put this together. It almost made me, in a weird way, feel like, damn, dude, if I know some people have asked me this question on the show before, would I ever come back to music, or would I ever come back to rap, or would I ever make music again? This inspired me to the point where I would be like, that would be maybe a direction I would go.
Yeah.
If I wasn't just writing songs, if I wasn't just a songwriter writing songs, trying to get checks, and I was doing my own shit, I feel like that's the direction I would go. But you need an incredible producer to help you bring that to life. You need someone behind the keys that's putting it together, that knows exactly what you want, where you want it. Oops, sorry, my bad. You can tell them what you want, where you want it. I'm playing air keys over here, and I tapped the soundboard. My bad.
Freak you!
But that would be the way I could see myself coming back to music, man. Mm-hmm. Something like the Mac Miller album. If you haven't checked it out, I encourage you guys to do that. Along with the notes I was talking about on Apple Music, John Bryan breaks down every song, dude. He tells you what went into each song.
Really?
One by one. So you can go through and read how they came up with the song, what him and Mac had talked about while they were putting it together.
That's pretty sick, because a lot of people were saying, well, how much influence did Mac really have with this one? Because this album came out so long after, he has passed. But these notes really allude to that.
It says right here in the notes, with the support of Mac Miller's family, Bryan completed Circles based on conversations that the two had shared before Miller's death in September of 2018, adding elements of live percussion, strings, and various overdubs. Here, Bryan takes us inside the making of Circles' key songs and offers insight on what it was like to work so closely with Mac on something so personal.
Wow.
How dope,
That's really cool, man.
Yeah, really cool. So I found that just within the Apple Notes on the album.
Huh.
So I know there's a lot of people that are Spotify people, and I like Spotify for some of the playlist stuff.
Playlists are great.
But I love Apple for this kind of stuff, and I love Apple when I play it on my Apple TV, when I just tell Siri to play a song, not only is it flawless, it just pulls the song up, starts playing, but it also shows me the lyrics. And it just plays on my TV. So I can just sit there on the couch.
Got that nice color background.
Yeah, exactly. It's just aesthetically pleasing to the eye.
You bet.
And that's something you don't get on Spotify. But the Spotify playlist, way more fire, in my opinion. So hopefully maybe you do it like me and my lady. I'm up on Apple Music. She's up on Spotify. And you just share it all and kind of do it that way. Jalal, your thoughts on the Mac album, or anything more to add to that?
Yeah, man, I love it too. I've been spinning it. I don't know any of the names yet because I just put it on and it's on.
I think
repeat.
that's how a lot of people
loop.
are. You put it there, you don't have
So,
no idea what's
yeah,
what.
I like a lot of songs on it. It is very dark. I mean, I was surprised to hear him talk that much in depth about, like, I wish I could get out of my head, and he did do some of that on Swimming, but this was like a lot of it. It seemed like almost every track he was mentioning something with his struggles in his head, or getting out of his head, or why does it have to be so hard? Why does everybody need me for something? He really went in depth on this project.
And can't we all relate to that, man?
Yeah.
I don't even have any kids. I don't really, no family, none of that stuff. But I still feel like I'm getting pulled in 15 different directions just by all the people in my life. I can't imagine if you did have family.
You're a superstar too.
Yeah.
The fame and all the money and all that stuff that it brings.
But even I guess my point is, even just the family man can relate to that. The basic family man. My man that the homie Foster that tweets me, he delivers mail, out in the streets. He probably got people at his mail job pulling at him, and he's got kids pulling at him, and he's got
looking for packages.
Yeah, so even that's what was cool about it is anybody can relate to that shit, man. Totally.
But I just hope that there's more music. I think they said this was gonna be like the end, or I'm not sure if I saw that, but I hope there's more music, man, because musically it sounds like he was getting to such a dope place where he was playing the instruments and he was working with the people that he's always dreamed of working with. And I'd like to hear a lot more. I hope there's more songs. He
was bringing a lot more live bands at the end of his career as well, to his concerts. And, again, that whole NPR Tiny Desk concert that I saw, like, that's really the evolution. And I think that's the table that he was obviously turning and going in that direction with this. And musicality is something that you and I kind of bitch about. We have conversations about this. We look at hip hop and we look at, just beats and being able to be made, by everybody under the sun in their own little rooms and whatever. Don't even need studios anymore. But it seems like Mac Miller, he wasn't overproducing stuff, but he was really bringing a lot of production to his music and really aiding in just not being this rapper, not being this young kid talking about keeping his sneaks clean. You know what I mean? The evolution is just astronomical in my part. And Robin, who has never, ever been a Mac Miller fan, to bring her into it, we were cleaning the house yesterday a little bit, and she starts jamming this. And I had to ask, and dude, I'm really familiar with this album. And I'm like, babe, who are you listening to? And she's like, oh, it's the new Mac Miller. You heard it? I'm like, I was just shocked that she was spinning the new Mac Miller. Yeah. And she's, she absolutely loves it.
Nice.
So, dude, it's really, really cool. So we got to vibe yesterday, which, again, our vibes are up and down, especially here lately. And to have Mac Miller kind of help us with our vibes, great, dude.
That's
great.
Cool. I guess moving from that one to the Eminem album.
Yeah.
You were kind of asking me what I thought of it, and I was like, yeah, let's save it for the show and stuff,
right.
So we didn't talk a ton about it. But what I did say is, you can't have an Eminem album that drops Friday and have a full review on it by Monday. I can't.
Right.
By Monday. It's just too hard. I mean, there's too much shit that he's saying in each song, jamming in there and crunching together. And there's some stuff where I absolutely hate the hook on it. Like the old, I'll say this. There's some songs on this album that I just love. And I'm like, this is so sick. It's old M or it's old and new M. It's whatever you want to call it. It's just dope to me. Sound is cool. But then there's some songs I'm like, God damn, dude. He went back into that encore phase. He went back into the Triumph the Puppet Dog phase. Like he did, just a little bit of too much screaming for me on some shit. A little too much, I don't know, man. It just wasn't. Certain songs are weird like that.
Yeah.
And then you have certain songs where, first of all, there's 20 tracks on the album, which is, there's a couple Alfred Hitchcock interludes, but right. Dude, that's what I'm saying. How do you have a full review? How do you review the album? People are asking me, is it worth the money? I'm like, I'm still spinning it through. Still trying to figure out what I have here.
Right.
And so, yeah, that's kind of how I feel on it. I feel like the Slaughterhouse track is crazy, unaccommodating. I love track number 3 with Royce the 5'9". Actually, I love all the tracks with Royce.
There's a Slaughterhouse track on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's towards the end, right?
Does it sound dated or?
No, I think it sounds great.
I think it sounds great,
too.
I
think it sounds
But
awesome.
I just mean, is it something they recorded a long time ago? Because I don't know if
they're
all in the same room together.
I don't know. No, it sounds good.
There's a Budden verse on it?
Let's see, who is it? Joel Ortiz. No Budden.
Okay.
It's Joel Ortiz.
That's, I guess.
Crooked Eye.
So it could be newer then.
Yeah, so I guess call it the Slaughterhouse track, but it's not fully Slaughterhouse.
Oh, I guess.
You know what I mean? But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the album overall.
What I found out about it,
I
think those are pretty good thoughts. I think what I found out about it was, obviously, when you think of Eminem, controversy is right behind him to follow, right? So you look at some of the songs that he has. He talked about the Manchester bombing that happened, with the Ariana Grande concert. He does obviously talk about the shooting, the Las Vegas shooter, and actually has a video. I don't know if you know that. He has a video that kind of laments him in there, kind of like the Stan video. It's shot kind of like that Stan video was, and it's obviously advocating gun control, things of that nature. But when an Eminem drops an album, controversy is soon to follow, right? And that was, fell true on this album as well. So no shock there.
I think I did see that, heard that song and watched the video. When I heard the song initially, it kind of, I guess I wasn't listening close enough. I was more listening to his delivery and his flow. And it sounded like that old encore Eminem, just the way he was, the curtains are closing, and I was just like, oh man, I don't really vibe with that. Once I saw the video, obviously he pieces it all together.
Yeah.
You kind of see where he's going with it. He is almost like the shooter, the Las Vegas shooter, in that hotel room.
Exactly.
Talking about the incident and what is going through his mind. And it's crazy because as you get deeper into the record, and I heard this, when I spun it through, but the initial record, as I was listening through, I kind of was losing it a little, and I was like, oh, he's kind of talking about the shooting. And then, he's acting like he is the shooter. And then he gets in so deep as to, he puts this story and paints this picture together that the shooter is real anxious and just wants to kind of start shooting and get it over with. But The crowd isn't fully there yet. What the hell's going on? Why isn't there more people? I thought the shit was sold out. Like, I'm trying to fuck people up. And it was very dark, and that's what the song's called, Darkness. It was crazy. The video puts together the entire image. And it's a little disturbing, especially it's a little nuts.
I'd say.
You know? But I thought it was well done. I thought it was really well done. I don't know. Don't you think it's a little weird gosh, you don't want to pigeonhole or box somebody in, but he's talking about gun control on one song. And then he has the Ariana Grande bombing joke on another song. And that's like more older Eminem and shit. And I guess, if we go through his catalog, he's kind of done that. He's had real politically charged records on Eminem's show and some of his bigger albums. And then he's also had the jokes and shit too. So I guess, I don't want to look at it with too much of a fine thin comb,
right?
In that aspect, but I thought that was interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
You didn't listen to it at all?
Nah, I was telling you I didn't even know it was out. Like,
that's right.
My
that's right.
timeline just had no record. No, there was no notifications of Eminem's album coming out. But I've been out on him for a couple albums now, and I just think he's in his own bubble, and he's kind of like out of touch. And he's still a great artist. Like, he still has the most amazing like raps, I guess. If you're talking about lyrical
if you're just
ability,
talking about rapping, bro,
like,
he's the greatest rapping.
I think the game has just changed a little bit.
It's not
like,
that
you got to
anymore.
do a little bit more than just rap.
Let's call it early 2000s, mid 2000s, right? When everyone was really starting to talk about greatest rapper of all time, and Lil Wayne really started that convo, best rapper alive, and Jay-Z was retiring, and then G was coming back to claim the throne, and all this shit. And those were the greatest rappers, right? It was M, it was Jay-Z, it was I guess you could throw Kanye, you could throw Lil Wayne, all that shit in there, right? There's still, the convo is just, it's hard because
depends on what you're doing.
It depends on, everyone has a different definition of what the greatest rapper of all time means. Some people want storytelling. To them, storytelling means you're the greatest rapper, and that's your probably old school hip hop heads. They like that storytelling shit. Then you got people that just want crazy bars and lyrics. Hardcore lyricists, flipping words, making words rhyme that don't rhyme, Eminem style. That's the greatest rapper to them. Then you got people where it's like, Jay-Z's a combination of that swag rap and that storytelling and that street profit shit. So to those people, he could do all these different styles. And then he started switching up. He did the shit with Linkin Park. And then he did Jay-Z. Depending on what definition you use. Wayne, punchline heavy. Yeah, I killed time, dead clocks, that kind of shit. That is the greatest rapper to some people because real punchline heavy raps like that's the greatest to some people.
I just think you got to adapt as you go. I don't think he's adapted much.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think Eminem just makes the music that M wants to make. Like, I don't think there's any adaptability. If there's vulnerability, it's on his behalf, and he decides what that looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's also allowed other artists to make what they've wanted, right? I think that's opened doors in ways. But I think in a time, if you're not adapting to certain things right now as what's cool and what's selling and, yeah, I mean, he is out of touch.
It's not even what's cool. It's just like, just do something, like evolve a little bit, like change explore your own style. You don't have to just go do what's popular, because I don't think he would be successful in that either.
Now,
he was just trying to chase the sound. But
do you think that if he had a social media presence, do you think his music would be different, or he'd be viewed differently? Because he really doesn't have a social media presence, right? He'll retweet stuff.
What people say, though.
For sure.
Yeah, that's a team running his.
But I think it's more in real life. Like, M can't just step outside. Like, he's probably just locked in his house all day in his studio.
That was like the whole Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah. That's what kind of he was joking about. Yeah. It was just like blah, 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 doing that kind of shit, and it was the combination of that, your rapidy back, that kind of shit, and you don't ever leave your house. Right. That was like the main core of MGK's diss track. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that is a valid.
There's nobody to tell him, like, yo, that's not it.
Right. Or that's not what's going on right now. Or that's no doubt. It's really interesting. Let me catch up on some of these comments really quick. Different opinions, man. What up, Philly Mayor? What up, homies? He says, RJ, Mac album is flawless. And then you got Pablo. I love Mac. I got the Good Am cover tattooed on my leg. Trill Pablo on Insta. If you're trying to check it, it's Trill_Pablo. If you want to check out that tattoo, man, I'll definitely check that out, Pablo.
Dope.
He said Maleeb, the producer, said they have a whole album finished now. There you go.
Nice.
Madlib.
Madlib. There you go.
Oh, Madlib, my bad. Madlib, Maleeb.
Threw a little French on it.
Maleeb, bro. If Mac Miller's the vibe, below not good. John King.
Below not good.
I would disagree with that, man. If I can
not
vibe
a Mac
with
Miller
Robin,
fan.
if I can vibe with Robin on anything, I'm gonna take it, dog. You know, you understand. Hey, you understand that as a father and as a husband, dog. You understand that. Stop playing with me. Okay, I'm gonna take that vibe.
Now, does that mean this album isn't the vibe, or just him in general? Because this is completely different. Like, you don't like either version of Mac Miller? Because this is something totally different.
I think John King's out on Mac Miller, and that's fine.
Neighborhood. I haven't heard the M album, but I feel like M just makes the music he wants to make. It's really what he's always done. He's broken down walls for other artists to put out music they want to make.
So, yeah, that's kind of what I'd agree with that. I said a little bit of that.
M fell off years ago. He's trash from Pablo. John King, Jay-Z's the greatest rapper. T-Mobile agrees with that. I think exactly. There you go. I mean, there's a lot of people that have their opinion on the greatest, and it's based off a certain set of criteria of what the greatest rapper is to them. That's why you'll never have, there's no definite conversation in any of that. It's all opinion based.
I put him as the greatest rap mogul.
Oh yeah, you could say who, Jay-Z?
Yeah,
what he's done, what he's parlayed his
business
venture, and
all that stuff that he's been involved with. Oh hell yeah!
Right. Al Baroon donates $4.99 to the stream in euros, my man. Al Baroon, thank you, bro.
Oh, nice.
Give him the symbol, please. And he said, "Don't try Richard Sherman with the sorry receiver like Adams."
I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're gonna get.
There you go. Tell him. Down. Oh, he puts it down. Let's go. Finally, we get one. Finally.
Shook the whole camera.
Wow.
Why, was he stomping?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. This fool came through A-Town stomping over here. Finally made a basket.
God, about time.
Good shit. That's funny. If my wife puts on Mac Miller, it's all bad. That's what John King. That's funny.
John King.
Holy shit. All right, let's move. Let's do this. Dang it, I forgot to click record in GarageBand, so I'm gonna have to get the audio. I'm gonna have to poach the audio from the stream.
Got you.
All right. Sorry, distracted there. Let me fill you guys in. You guys familiar? You guys up on the Royce the 5'9" situation or beef that's going on with Yellow Wolf at all?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, for sure. With the whole Shady Records, him leaving and that. Yeah, for sure. I'll let you kind of get into it.
Yeah, I'll kind of fill you guys in if you're not. So, due to copyright, I can't play the clip, obviously, but Royce the 5'9" came out with a new single called Overcomer on Friday. Mm-hmm. So, same time Mac and M dropped. And so this kind of got a little bit overshadowed. That's why I want to bring it to the light here. So, do you remember, Jalal, you said you listened to the podcast with Joe Budden. Mm-hmm. On the Joe Budden podcast, Royce the 5'9" was on there, and he was talking about some things going on behind the scenes at Shady Records.
Yep.
Things that, I guess, some racial stuff, some appropriating of the culture, and you thought he was talking about Eminem the whole time.
Because he didn't really say it like that. I know Royce wouldn't really speak on him that way, but yeah, I didn't know Yellow Wolf was that invested in the camp like that.
I didn't know, when did Yellow Wolf leave? He left Shady in 2018, right? August of 2018?
Yep.
Was when he finished his
last album.
Right. So Joe Budden's on there. Or I'm sorry, Royce the 5'9" is on the Joe Budden podcast. And basically he's saying that, but he doesn't mention any names. So no one knows who the hell he's talking about. Then he comes out on this single and names Yellow Wolf by name on this one. And it says, so here's the quote, and it doesn't rhyme the best because it's kind of a weird song to diss somebody on. Have you heard it? Overcomer?
No.
The single is it's almost like church, it's like
a gospel sample.
Yeah, and he's almost going spoken word on it. So it's like that really weird spoken word type flow. It's just an interesting way track to diss somebody on. It's not like hard bar track like you'd be like ready to go. But it says, Yellow Wolf, this is your first and last pass. I ain't going to put you on blast. Your punk ass know what this about. You think it's about being loud or trying to be hostile till you get found face down on the ground outside Kid Rock's house. Though you a vulture pundit, I hope you get sober from this. Men lie, women lie, so do the numbers. It's hard to, like I said, it's hard to make it rhyme or give you that effect. So then Yellow Wolf comes out, responds to the single, and he puts out an Instagram post and says, "You and me video dropping soon from the sold out Fillmore in Detroit. But numbers do lie, don't they, Royce? Yo, Eminem, get your hype man before the Wolves do. I ain't worried." And he ats Eminem and he ats Royce the 5'9". Interesting. Very interesting. So this kicks off the first beef, I think, of 2020. And I'm locked in because I want to know what the hell went on. I want to know what's going on. I want to know what kind of racial shit is Yellow Wolf doing behind the scenes. What kind of appropriating of the culture? What kind of stuff is happening there? So that interests me. Let me get the here. I got the quote. I got the OG quote from the Joe Budden podcast. He says, it's a situation going on, especially in hip hop. We have all kinds of different people, but we have white people who come into the business and they use the culture, explained Royce. We've got a very open culture. It's here for everybody to thrive. Some white people use that and then go and do very evil things behind closed doors, racist things. They make comments, and now it's gotten to the point in life where if I see it, hear about it, or am involved in any type of way, I have to start holding these people accountable. End quote from Royce the 5'9" on the Joe Budden podcast. And that was what everyone was kind of like, damn, what's going on behind the scenes? People were a little bit confused. And now we know that he was talking about Yellow Wolf, and there's some issues there. We don't know exactly what happened.
I wouldn't have expected that from Royce.
Interesting, right?
Just because like the way he was talking on that interview, he sounded like he was just chilling, like he was in a good place, like he wasn't really going to get into no antics. And I mean, I'm sure this could be real, but like, you know, it's kind of convenient around album time, a little strategic. But yeah, I just didn't really expect him to take it here. Like he just seemed like he was just chilling, like making music in his home studio and just chilling.
Yeah, man. So to make it a little bit crazier, Royce's brother, Kid Vicious, fired off some shots at Yellow Wolf as well, saying, if Yellow Wolf is in your top anything as far as rap / hip hop besides top trash, let me know ASAP so I can zap you. Then he proceeded to double down with a fuck that dude on the social media account from his brother. So, and then that's when Royce put out like I said, Royce put out the Instagram post where he's not scared and told him, come get his boy before the Wolves do. That's interesting. That's fun. Because I don't think Yellow Wolf's trash at all. I think that guy can rap. I think what he does is creative. I'm impressed in the studio with his vision and the way he puts projects together. I think the guy's talented. Am I saying, not putting in the best rapper alive conversation, I'm saying the guy's talented. I think what he does.
Music out?
Oh yeah, he just dropped in October, Halloween. He dropped the new first project off Shady Records called Ghetto Cowboy. Yep. So he's been putting out music. He did his 3 or 4 album deal with Shady, and then he finished that up in 2018 and last year. About a year after he got off Shady in August of 2018, and then he dropped that about a year and a couple months later, the Ghetto Cowboy album.
I thought he was talking about like Post or somebody.
Interesting.
Like Post Malone, because a lot of people are giving him shit
about appropriating the culture and stuff. Why? What is he doing?
Just with comments he's made. He's made a lot of comments about hip hop, like just saying like, oh, it's not music, or it's not what I would choose, or if I was listening to it. Like he just kind of downed hip hop, even though he stepped into it.
That's where he got in.
That's
where he got the name, right?
Yeah.
With White Iverson and all that. I mean, that was a very hip hop. That was played on every hip hop station. So people take that as being disrespectful or appropriating the culture.
Yeah. If you're a guest in hip hop, you should come in and
be respectful.
Like,
what do you say about what do people say about the young kids? Because there's a lot of young kids that are black that say they're not respecting hip hop. What do they say? It doesn't matter because they're already in the culture.
You don't really don't really hear that too much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Actually, I mean, you've heard of people like,
you hear people get mad at them, but it's not that no one's appropriating the culture at that point. It's just that they're not being respectful.
They're not being respectful of those that came before them.
Right. Right. So it's, I guess, same combo, but a little different.
There's been kids that are like, I never listen to Biggie.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know
That's
who
what I
that
was
is,
talking about. I think Yachty got in some issues with that, some hot water, some other cats were like, it was so funny. Me and John King were going back and forth talking Roddy Ricch yesterday. And
I saw that.
He puts the gif of the dude standing up with the Gucci shit, looking around, looking all crazy. I don't even know who that rapper was. But he had like some Gucci shit on, and basically was like, he said Royce, and the guy's like, "Who's that?" Like looking around, like just so disrespectful.
I saw you guys going in, man.
Funny, man, funny.
Yeah, I couldn't keep up.
Funny stuff.
Well, and I find it weird with Yellow Wolf because I think he's got a multi-ethnicity daughter. I think he's dated, black women of the past, maybe even married. I can't remember. He's from the Bible Belt, Alabama, but there's a lot of racist bullshit happening in the South. Obviously, there always has, right? We're going to get into that with the MLK talk, a little bit later. But I find it interesting that this is all kind of what it's coming to, and I'm kind of with Jalal a little bit. Not that was his take, but does Royce have an alternative thing that he's trying to get here? With promotion of his his album, just trying to get some validity, just like John King would say, Royce who? You know what I mean? So I think there's maybe something a little bit to that, but
and Royce does have a project dropping February 21st, I believe. So
yeah.
Somewhere around February in the 20s.
Yeah, it sucks that in this era you have to have some type of controversy in order to cut through.
For sure. And I think you're talking about, the meme was from the Breakfast Club interview, and I think it was Soulja Boy. From the Breakfast Club interview. Where he was wearing like the
Drake?
Gucci. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's what he just said,
yeah.
Soulja Boy.
Yeah, he's got the crazy glasses on. That was the Breakfast Club. Yeah, for sure.
That should crack me up, bro.
Well, and it sounds like, the Yellow Wolf breakup from the Shady, like it sounds like there was no bad blood there either. When he went and kind of did his independent stuff, and it looks like it was 2019 when he released his last album with Shady Records, and then came out and then released the Ghetto Cowboy or whatever it was in 2019 as well under his own label.
Gotcha.
So
These guys probably get on the phone and be like, "Hey man, I'm about to just start this beef real quick. Let's just trade a couple bars." And
you think it's like that?
Yeah.
Well, dude, it's really strange because Royce, I don't know. I'm sorry, not Royce, Yellow Wolf. I don't know if this is intentional, but dude, he said he's dropping the video. And it's going to be filmed of the live performance at the sold-out Fillmore in Detroit. Yellow Wolf ain't from Detroit. Royce is from Detroit. M's from Detroit. Kid Rock's from Detroit. Yellow Wolf's from Alabama.
I don't know if Royce is selling that out.
Right? That's interesting, right? Like, that's like to say, hey, I'm coming to your city, and I'm going to film this video. I'll be there. What's up? You know what I mean? That's interesting. That's why I'm entrenched. I'm interested. I'm locked in. This intrigues me. I want to see what's going on. So, that's why I wanted to bring that up on this show today. Some of the comments. John King, that's the ultimate diss over church music. Oh, shit. It is, isn't it? It was such a weird song to diss somebody on, bro. I was listening to it. I was expecting to turn on Overcomer. With the title like Overcomer, you turn that on. I was expecting to hear some like boom bap Royce, some bars, some, knock him in the head, and then I was like, oh, and he disses Yellow Wolf on it? Let me see what's going on here. I turn it on, and I was like, whoa, is this the new Kanye? What's going on? Is this the new Sunday service?
Did I smoke too much weed?
What? Yeah, I was like, did I push the play wrong? I'm looking around and shit. What is going on? John King, M did it the right way. A lot of these cats like Post or Vultures. There you go. So, kind of like what you were saying there.
Yeah, I mean, M went through the circuit.
M went crazy.
Hey, dude.
Jeez,
Yeah.
crazy through the circuit. That's a good way to put it.
I think this is Armando Silva says, I think M's shock value has decreased due to social media. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with some of that. He used a lot of shock value that we couldn't actually see, but we'd hear about through his videos,
Totally
through whatever.
agree.
And now all of a sudden,
Great point.
I think that's a great point.
He's not as it's hard for him to be. I mean, you see, it's funny because back then M was the only person saying that shit publicly. Now everybody says that shit publicly all day on Twitter and Reddit and the internet.
And
so
I
it
think
doesn't
he
matter.
still thinks that he's like the
He's
guy.
the shockiest.
That's in his mind. He's like, oh, I'm gonna blow them away with
You
this.
think so?
Yeah, I think
You think he's
still
that out of
thinks
touch?
I
Really?
think he's out of touch. man.
Really? Dang.
Because at that time
I don't know.
it was M and Manson, right? Marilyn Manson
Yeah,
really
yeah.
trying to have that shock rock, and then you had the shock rap, with M, and those guys were kind of pivotal in their success with that, which also got them banned from churches and banned from cities, where they couldn't even perform live, which was crazy at that time.
Yeah.
He might be out of touch. I don't know about that much, Delal, but that's an interesting take.
Love the chat. I keep coming back. Bars from Socratic Mind. Oh, my bad. I was trying to give you shots. My fault. There you go. Give him the $2 donation.
All right.
Dal, you sunk yours. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, just dunk yours.
Oh, come on, bro. That's a L for me.
A little hard on the rim.
Little too hard. Pause. Cool. I think we're good on. The music. The music combo there. Did you want to? After we went off the air last Thursday, a bunch of information dropped on the Astros sign stealing combo.
Yeah.
A ton of information came out, but now it feels old.
It does.
So I just want to update a couple of people if you're unfamiliar. The new shit is the Astros. We all know the banging on the trash can, the manager suspended, Alex Cora was fired. Beltran stepped down during our show last episode. Mm-hmm. Carlos Beltran, Mets manager, hadn't even managed a game. He was a player on the 2017 Astros World Series team, and he was fired.
Undefeated.
Undefeated. So from there's now been a ton of video and a ton of stuff coming out. Jose Altuve wearing buzzers.
Yeah.
And then did you see the video where he's running across home plate and he's going like this?
Yeah, he's like saying no.
He says no at first, and then he kind of covers up to tell his teammates not to
rip jersey.
Rip his shirt off. And then did you hear this clip from Fox Sports? Ken Rosenthal asked Altuve about that.
I did.
And here, I have the audio here.
I love it.
Oops.
2-1 pitch through the at-bat against Chapman.
Well, first of all, I want to thank God and all the fans for a beautiful game, for the beautiful playoff.
Of course you do.
You know, we really deserve to be in the World Series because my team has been working really hard to get to this point.
Have they?
And in the at-bat, I want to just
buzzing hard.
A good pitch to hit. I mean,
cheating's hard.
For me, one of the best closer I ever faced, and he throws 100, so I wanted to be on time for the fast.
Jesus.
Going around the bases, what was going through your mind?
Well,
you asked the teammates not to tear your shirt.
Ask teammates not to tear your shirt. Why?
Did you ask your teammates not to tear your shirt? Why was that?
I don't know. I'm too shy. Last time they did that, I got in trouble with my wife.
I don't know. I'm too shy. Last time they did that, I got in trouble with my wife.
I think you should have done the accent.
Oh, I don't know. I'm too shy. Last time they do that, I get in trouble with my wife.
You know?
What do you think? Was that on point?
That was pretty good.
That is some of the best audio I've heard.
Yeah.
That wasn't a bad excuse, though.
Off the top, too?
But he had to ask the question again.
Yes, that was true.
He's like, wait, what?
What? And it was loud.
Yeah.
But... yeah, he needed a little...
But the whole rest of the interview was pretty good. Like, he heard everything else, but that one, he needed some time to think.
He needed a little time.
Like, this fool really just asked me that?
Hold on, sometime let me think, okay?
So, that's very interesting. And how we're finding out about the buzzer combo and the buzzer stuff is a Twitter account popped up, supposedly his niece, saying, I'm sorry, Uncle, or sorry, Tio.
Yeah.
I don't want to be... I can't keep quiet anymore.
Right.
Is what it says. Here, I'll give you the exact.
That was weird.
Wasn't it strange? Mm-hmm. So that comes out, and then I think we find out that it's not her niece, but it's someone with inside info on the situation. Then you have the photo of Josh Reddick that comes out, and I should have sent you this before the show. Sorry, he's sitting there in a chair, and he's got a thing right here in a tank top. Yeah, just search Josh Reddick Astros. And you'll see it. He's sitting in a tank top doing an interview with Fox Sports, and he's holding the mic, and it looks like it's a post-game interview celebration because he's got the goggles on.
Yeah, he's got the champagne goggles.
Yep. And he's sitting there, and he's got a little piece of tape, it looks like, to me. It looks like a little piece of tape taped to his chest and underneath his tank top. And people are saying, yo, what is that?
Right.
What's going on there? No, it just looks like tape. There you go. It doesn't look like a buzzer. It looks like tape. Now, very carefully, his lady comes out and says, you guys are morons. That's a piece of confetti from the celebration. It's not tape. It's a piece of confetti. On the right, you see the confetti. Mm-hmm. Does that look like that? Do they look the same? Does that look like confetti still? And notice there's a wire running underneath the piece on the left. Do you see that?
In both pictures I see, like, you can still see it past his neck and shoulder on the right picture.
I wish I could see what's a little bit lower there.
The right looks a little bit more like confetti, like that gold
Exactly.
strip.
Yeah. Right.
The left, definitely not.
Interesting. And that confetti sticks there in the locker room as he walks all the way out onto the field, and it stays there.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm just saying it's interesting. I don't know if it is or isn't.
They didn't have the makeup person take off the confetti
That's what they should have done.
before they sat down?
Right. And that's what I think. Like, it looks like, wouldn't you just brush that off real quick?
Yeah.
Unless it was attached, unless it was tape, unless it was something else. It looks like something's taped there. I can't tell for sure. I can't be sure, but that's the newest thing. His wife is calling everyone morons on Twitter. He has not said anything. She's coming to his defense saying it's confetti. You guys are idiots. All I know is something is abuzz.
Good one.
With this story.
Like it.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's what I do know. And that's kind of where we'll leave it. So that's the update. That's the update on the Astros situation. After we went off the air last show, that's kind of what's been going on there.
The most exciting thing in baseball in probably the last 50 years. That's cool.
Exactly. Baseball's
so fucking boring.
Baseball's been getting some run. Socratic Mind said, I got hit with your one pathetic loser. LMFAO. So appropriate initially. I'm sorry, bro. It was my fault. I scrolled up to play the Sherman sound and I messed everything up. Yeah, with that being said, let's transition and we'll go into a little bit of this here. All right, Dal, on this day, January 20th, before we get into all the serious stuff, you don't even know, I have this one. This happened yesterday, 6 years ago.
Uh-oh.
6 years ago. You ready for it?
I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get.
There you go. Richard Sherman yesterday, the game-sealing knockaway from Michael Crabtree that sent them to the Super Bowl 2012-2013 season. They knocked off the Denver Broncos, blew their doors off. Oh, no, 2014. Sorry.
14.
Knocked the Broncos off, blew their doors off in the Super Bowl. I don't even know what the score was. And 6 years ago, Richard Sherman, ironically enough, he had the game-ending interception yesterday. Not that it sealed the game, but he just had the last, Rodgers threw a Hail Mary ball.
Yeah.
Sherman intercepted it. But let's get into On This Day, the real On This Day, man.
All right.
MLK Day. Let's just start there.
Yeah, let's start with MLK Day. So on this day, MLK Day, let's just start with that. Happy MLK Day. Everybody that is working isn't working. I think this is a great day to kind of remember Martin Luther King for what he is, what he did, who he is, and just the amount of just outright respect that he had for people, just people in general, which is really, really great. So check this out. So on January 15th, the entire nation pauses in remembrance of the civil rights hero. At least that's the point of Martin Luther King Day, a federal holiday now that takes place on every third Monday of each January. So that doesn't mean that it's on the 15th. That doesn't mean that it's on the 20th. It is the third Monday of January, correct?
Yeah.
That's how it falls.
And his birthday's on the 15th. The earliest it's been is
Right.
the 15th. The latest, the 21st.
You got it.
So that's how they kind of do it. They just do it that way. The thing that I was interested to find out about MLK Day is that this really hasn't been going on that long. Ronald Reagan just barely signed this into law in 83, and it wasn't even observed until 86. That's just, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Just looking it up and doing the research, that was crazy to me. And then obviously there's a bunch of states that didn't observe that.
And then there was a state, Arizona, that got backlashed because they signed and then they backed out of the deal.
Oh, no shit.
Which is absolutely
Bullshit, yeah.
insane to me.
Just going
but yeah,
back on
you're
your
right.
word, that's fine. What do you have on your word?
Yeah, but
Idiots.
you're right. I think it's awesome to note that it was signed in 83, but it wasn't a federal holiday until 86. We look at this, I was born in 82. To me, this just like when this individual passed, which was 1968, when he was obviously killed, it took that long to celebrate this individual.
No doubt.
86, dude, is not that long ago. I mean, I say that loosely.
Yeah, it's not.
But if you would ask me, like, hey, when did we start celebrating this? I probably would have said, well, the late 60s, maybe the early 70s, right?
Right.
Is that shocking?
It's more shocking that the first time this was even observed by all 50 states is 2000. That is nuts to me.
Right.
That we didn't get this observed by all 50 states uniform until 2000? That's crazy. That's crazy. So
Yeah.
just some crazy stuff about MLK Day, man. Just when reading about it, I didn't know any of that.
Well, and what's crazy about that, until 2000, like you said, that every state in the Union finally observed Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Today, the holiday, though, is still celebrated in conjunction with the celebration of Confederate figures in some states, some of the southern
The
states,
South, right,
which means Robert E. Lee, some of that. They're making it about him or that war instead of MLK. It's just, man, it just doesn't feel right
Doesn't make
still,
sense,
man,
right?
after all this time. You know what I mean?
No doubt. No
So-
doubt. So happy MLK Day to everybody out there. If you guys are enjoying the day off of work, getting some things done, listening to us, or if you're working, either way, man, happy MLK
Okay,
Day.
day for sure. Robin's got the day off.
Let's go into the third on this day.
All right, so how about this one, man? So let's go back to on this day, January 20th, 1982. Singer Ozzy Osbourne, on tour, Des Moines, Iowa, bit the head off of a live bat that was thrown on stage.
Yes.
And he had no idea that it was a live bat. He thought at the time that it was just like a fake,
a
toy,
prop?
and he was just in his show. Yeah, absolutely. Just in
Yeah.
the show, just involved.
I didn't know that.
And he went ahead and bit it. And this is what he said in his book, I Am Ozzy. He said, immediately, something felt wrong, very wrong. For a start, my mouth was instantly full of warm, gloopy liquid with the worst aftertaste you could ever imagine. I could feel it staining my teeth and running down my chin. Then the head in my mouth twitched. Oh, fuck me, I thought. I just didn't go and eat a fucking bat, did I?
Wow.
That is an excerpt from his book, I Am Ozzy. This is, dude, there has been numerous shirts, numerous wives' tales about this incident, but it was unfortunately a real live bat at the time. And then what I found out was after the show, not right after the incident, he finished the show.
That's crazy.
After the show, he was rushed immediately to the hospital to get his rabies shots.
Unbelievable.
On this day.
I didn't know he didn't know, and that makes it all the crazier because if he would have known, they would have set it up in a better light or better way. Like I thought he knew, and it was kind of a part of the show, and they probably, they took it all. I didn't know that he didn't know, and he really legit did that shit.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the bat.
Yeah, there was
Being a new animal lover that I am, I basically turned into Ace Ventura.
Mm-hmm.
If you follow me on social, me and my dog, just look at me. Yeah, I become this animal lover.
You lift up your arms and all of a sudden birds are landing on your arms and you got the squirrels and the chipmunks.
Yeah, dude, all that shit. Yeah, you should follow Lil Benny from the block on Instagram, my dog.
Yeah, shout out.
Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
So yeah, that was another one. And then I guess just as a, I was never into this. I still haven't watched it myself, but on this day.
Gay porn.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was not
I was
into
never
that.
into this. I sure haven't watched it myself.
January 20th, 2008, Breaking Bad airs its first
you
season,
never watched it?
first
Oh my
episode on AMC, man, on this day, January 20th, 2008.
That is nuts right now.
Yeah.
How have you never seen that show?
Just
Never
haven't yet.
started it?
No, just haven't yet.
You and Robin got to start binging that. It's on Netflix, guy.
I know.
It's on Netflix. Just start binging it.
We just got done with The Office. Binged that whole thing through.
Wow, how long did that take?
It took a little
I was
while.
gonna say, that's some time.
It took us at least a month and a half.
The Office.
Binge that.
How?
A lot of seasons. I think 9 seasons, I think.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of chaos.
Yeah, it is.
So big on this day, man. But again, happy MLK Day for sure.
No doubt. Let's move into the UFC fight from this weekend. UFC 246. We previewed it last week with the Sports Plus Life podcast. My man Ed Rodriguez came on the show. And where did you go, first of all? What did you do? Since we didn't watch the fights here?
Yeah, man. So went to my old school brick house, the notorious bar that Tim has and still does work at.
Nice, the old stomping ground.
But he actually takes Saturday nights off now, I believe.
Really?
Well, they've said he's had like
this guy's whole schedule.
I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You've driven him out of his money-making Saturday nights.
Yeah,
Awesome, Dal.
I talked to the GM that night, Saturday night, and I said, "Hey, where's Tim been?" He's like, he doesn't usually work Saturday nights. I said, huh, that's convenient. I appreciate it. But anyways, our girl Dominique set us aside, reserved us a sick-ass table, man. Got us taken care of. Me and the Mueller, man, watching the UFC fight. Robin actually joined us. We had a great night. She started falling asleep. Dude, she gets pretty tired right around that 9:45 hour. So come like 10:15, dude, she's ready to get out of there. She's got her head leaned up on my shoulder, and we're ready to go. But, dude, Robin enjoyed it. Me and Mueller enjoyed it.
Well, good thing it was a
Great
quick fight then.
Oh, dude, it was way quick. Do you feel like you got your money's worth?
I was just going to say, the people that...
Did you get your Buff Streams money?
Yeah, the people that bought it, I feel bad. I mean,
I know.
It reminds me of those Tyson fights in the 90s. I remember as a young kid, I didn't really know what was going on, but being around all the people that were always into the fights, you know, you'd be around family, people ordering the fight, people betting on the fight, and people would be so pissed off because Mike Tyson knocked the guy out in the first round in under a minute, and then it'd be over. And you'd be like, what the hell did I just pay $100 for? $70 back then, I don't know, whatever it was back then on pay-per-view, but there was no streaming. That was it. It was the only way to see it.
Yeah.
So I'm very thankful. What a time to be alive. Thankful for that. So we can use the Buff Stream, so I don't have to pay $69.95. I mean, I guess if you wanted to see Holly Holm hug the girl up against the cage all night.
Oh, arguably the worst.
Did you watch that?
Worst fight of the
I
night.
watched the whole thing.
Oh, you watched the whole card?
Yeah.
You're not even a fight guy. I like that.
Where'd you watch it?
I like watching it. I'm not
Okay.
going to break down. I don't got analysis for you.
Not
But
doing a
I
tale
like
of the
watching it.
Where'd you watch it?
I just watched it at the crib.
At the crib, okay. So yeah, what did you? Let's just start there. What did you think of that fight? What did you think of her? What did you think of the crowd booing her?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan's comments, all that stuff.
Well, the crazy thing was with Holly Holm, this fight, in my opinion, was a make or break for Holly Holm in terms of, dude, if she lost again, like I just don't know if there is a place for her anymore in the UFC. I think that ship has sailed. But the fact that she did win this by unanimous decision, which is crazy to me, by pinning Raquel Pennington against the cage
yeah.
the whole entire fight, it's not a bad move. It's not a move that anybody who is a patron or is paying patronage to see this fight wants to see. That being said, I don't put it on Holly. I put it on the ref. Did you hear about what Dana White said in his in the post-fight presser about this?
No, what did he say?
Dude, he legitimately was like, you know what? That was the worst fight of the night. I was bored as shit. He says, I almost walked out of the fight.
No way.
Literally said, I almost walked out of the fight. He was like, I was that pissed off. And then he goes into talking about the ref.
Hold up, I think I got the.
You have that audio?
With Raquel, and I've said this to her a million times, she will not let her hands go. She's got hands. She doesn't let them go. Oh, not to mention the fact that the ref let them clinch for 4 minutes for 3 rounds, and they fought for a minute.
Oof.
That was a problem, too. Driving me crazy, man. If you are not doing damage or advancing your position, you split the fighters up and make them actually fight. And I like this guy. I don't want to, bum this guy out and whatever. But he's running around the octagon, like I'm like, what fucking fight is he watching? He's moving around like he's trying to stay out of the way, like there's a war going on or something. And these guys are leaning up against the fence for 4 minutes. Are you me right now? I literally almost got up and walked out of that fight.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was so frustrated.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Wow, dude, how crazy.
Man, I mean, dude, I think he couldn't have said it any better.
No shit.
That makes UFC look bad. It makes the ref look bad.
I couldn't love that anymore. Dana White coming with some heat.
That was, I mean,
Coming with some heat for the ref and then a little backhanded apology. But,
Yeah.
dude, that's exactly how I like to see it. Like, hey, I'm not trying to be rude, but, God, you got to do better.
Yeah, what are we doing?
That's just what it is. It's, I love that. Couldn't love that anymore.
Yeah.
That was great.
So I feel exactly the way he feels about that fight.
All right, let's hear about the gate and some other Dana White clips here.
The gate was 11.1 million. It's the 4th highest gate in UFC history.
Nice.
The attendance was 19,040. Conor McGregor looked ridiculous tonight. Nobody saw that coming. Nobody. And the way that he went in there, the way that he did it, he looked fast, he looked sharp, he looked strong. There's always critics and there's always somebody who has an opinion. People are going to say that Cowboy was shot, which is total. And
What do you mean?
Conor McGregor came out, he looked fast, he hit hard, he had a game plan, and he finished a real tough kid who came to win.
What is he talking about? I got to disagree there.
Cerrone.
What do you mean Cowboy didn't look shot? He does look shot. Me and Vitzer were talking about that. Anyone that's been watching UFC, if you've been following UFC, you've seen Cowboy fading. You've just seen him fading over his last few fights. He started, I said it on Twitter, he's reminding me of a defensive back in the NFL where he's just fallen off this cliff all of a sudden. And there's no going back up the cliff. He's just fallen off the cliff. He's aged. He's out of his prime. And all of a sudden, that's what happens in the NFL. These guys are in the Pro Bowl. They're a Pro Bowl defensive back. And 2 years later, you turn around and the guy's having trouble in training camp making a team. And that's what it feels like with Cerrone. It feels like he was Donald Cowboy Cerrone. And then the past 2 years, he's just fallen off this cliff. And it's like, whoa, what happened? And this was a nice career, Donald. We're going to give you a big payday. We're going to give you a big fight at the end. That's what it felt like to me. I don't agree with Dana White there.
Almost like a send-off,
and
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I just don't agree. I don't agree. That's what it felt like to me. How did you see it?
I'm kind of right there with you, and I think it took this fight for me to kind of see that and finally say, okay, here's the deal. We need to reevaluate. So let's look at what Conor McGregor did, right? So his last fight was obviously in a bar, but his last fight in the cage was obviously against Khabib, and we know what that looked like. Conor has mentioned that he was distracted. People have said that with his whiskey, with his marketing, he was distracted. He was not ready to fight. He had to lose, obviously, some weight. His training program wasn't as good. That's been known. So he took some time off. Dana White will tell you, hey, I don't really like my fighters taking time off. He's like, cage rust is a very real thing. So now we go back to Cerrone, right? Which was your question, like, is this it? You know, should we call this quits? Well, for me, I think he needs to reevaluate. I think he needs to step outside of that ring for a little bit. But we go back to Dana White's statement. I think cage rust is very, very real. And we look at the age in which Cowboy is.
Right.
I believe he's 36.
He's 36 years old, yeah.
Versus 31 at Conor. I don't know at 36 years old you could step away, especially as long as Conor did, and come back and not have cage rust. Whether it's with your stamina, whether it's with just your experience, whether it's just staying relevant. Mm-hmm. You know, we don't want him to turn into the Eminem of UFC and not be relevant in his head, but he thinks he is, right?
Do you, we'll stay on this, but dude, I almost get a weird, similar Cowboy feeling with Nate Diaz.
Do you?
I think the BMF fight might be, he'll get more because of the name. He'll get a one or two more, but I don't think, dude, I just feel like I see a similar thing. I see him getting busted open easier and easier and easier every fight with the scar tissue. The last one he couldn't even finish because of the cut. Mm-hmm. I just see that. I feel like Nate Diaz is right here at the edge of the cliff, dude, and he's about to just fall off.
Yeah.
And you're talking about older. You're talking about cage rust. All that is playing into him too.
Right.
Older, cage rust, and the scar tissued up face. I feel like he's right there.
Yeah, whether it's doctor stoppage. I think, him and Cerrone are a very, very good comparison with that.
Right.
I do.
So that's how I'm kind of feeling there. Let's hear from Conor after the fight.
I'm just, you know the way they say, I've just got a left hand. They'll have to say, I've just got a left shoulder as well. A left hand and a left shoulder. The so-called experts of the game, when they'd be breaking down my skill set, they'd be saying, I'm just a fighter with a left hand, which is highly disrespectful. I knew he was planning to knock me out with a head kick. I knew he wanted to everyone, what if Donald catches the head kick and all this. I knew this was what Donald would have been envisioning and his team. They would have been practicing how to set me up with the high kicks. But at the same time, I noticed Donald has many
here we go with the butt kissing
discrepancies in leans and dips and under certain attacks that can also set him up for the high kick. So the high kick was something I thought I could catch him with also. The records that man has, give him some sort of belt. Seriously, that, you know, you give belts out and this, that, and the other, and they're even creating them now at this stage. What a phenomenal legacy Donald has, and it's an honor to share the octagon with that man. Seriously.
Did you see the he was talking to Cerrone's grandma in the cage too?
I did.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
A lot of respect. I call it butt kissing. There's a lot of respect from Conor. Before the fight, it came off to me as a little bit of butt kissing because I just felt like Conor was setting him up. I just felt like he was just, nicing this guy to death. So much respect, Don. You're the greatest. Making him get his guard down a little. And then it felt like Cerrone was the old dog that went into the cage, all of a sudden got his face kicked around a little bit, didn't know what was going on, then looked up and was looking around and I thought we were buds. Thought we were buds, Connor. That's what it looked. It was sad to me a little bit. The way he set him up before the fight, then did that to him, and then I don't know. That's what I got from it. Now, moving on. The biggest question, who's Conor McGregor going to fight next? There's a lot of questions. I really think there's only 2 questions. I think it's Kamaru Usman or Jorge Masvidal.
Ooh, I don't.
What do you think?
Absolutely not. According to Dana
Justin
White.
Gaethje?
No, according to Dana White, Khabib is right around the corner.
Against Conor.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
And it's because of money. It's because that card, how much it'll bring. As a matter of fact, the presser, they talked about hey, we're just going to have to talk. It sounds like Conor is going to meet up with Lorenzo and Dana, 2 owners, obviously, of the UFC, and kind of have a drink and figure out what's going on. But Dana talked about, hey, I'd love to have it in Las Vegas. I'd love to have it in New York. I'd love to have it, in Europe at O2 Event Center down there. But it sounds like it's probably going to be Khabib before anything. I myself, screw Usman, put him on the side. It needs to be Jorge Masvidal. It needs to be.
That's the fight I really want to see.
We
I
need
don't
the
understand.
violence.
I want to see him fight Khabib last because I think Khabib is going to lay on Conor the entire fight, out wrestle the shit out of him, and Conor's going to be screwed, and then it's going to take away all the hype for the next fights. Let him beat down Cerrone. Now let him get in the striking match and get crazy, and maybe he gets a victory over Masvidal. Then what does it make that? Then it builds that Khabib fight even more.
Yeah.
I think it's stupid to blow your load with the Khabib fight, risk him looking soft or looking like shit in that fight because it's just what the skill set is.
Right.
And then I don't think the hype is there for a third Conor fight after he loses the second one to Khabib and gets laid on the entire fight.
Here's what we're thinking. I think even the UFC believes it. So this is now going to be the 4th time that Ferguson and Khabib are going to fight, right? And I believe this to be in March, if I'm correct, on the UFC card in March. I don't know, man. Maybe Conor stands around just to see who doesn't make that fight. And then he steps in there because, dude, he didn't sustain any damage during this fight against Cerrone, obviously. So this guy could go as early as a month if he could get his training and if he could get his camp right, that kind of stuff. They'd let him go again pretty quick. So I think we just really have to kind of see what happens with Tony Ferguson and Khabib, because if Ferguson wins that, then that whole Khabib thing is put on the shelf, and then I think we have a better chance of getting into the Jorge Masvidal or the Kamaru Usman type of situation. And I think that's what all of us bloody UFC fans want to see, is obviously the Masvidal or the Usman. We want to see strikers. We want to see this go pound for pound. We do not want to see another wrestling match, and we don't know what to expect with Conor and if he can sustain something like a Khabib again. But that's where we're at, but it sounds like the UFC really wants to make that Khabib happen really soon.
Here's McGregor in the octagon after the win.
You know what I mean? I'm very proud of that accomplishment. The UFC, they can strip fighters and give other fighters make-believe belts in order to replicate my champ status, but they can't give knockout victories across multiple weight divisions. So there you go again. Etch my name in history one more time. For the Irish people, for me man back home, I look at the big smile coming on the win. Thank you, Donald. I appreciate you. You're a legend in this game, mate.
Now, Conor, the big question now is...
Proper 12 Irish whiskey. That's the big question now. We just released a 1.75 litre. So we've got the 375, we've got the 750, we've got the 1 litre, and then we've got the big boss, the 175.
Big boss.
I'm going to get a 175 to celebrate with me fans tonight at me after party. That's the big news.
That's the big news.
So you're going to stay at welterweight, and who would you like to fight next?
You know, I like this weight division. I feel really good. It's good going up and down. God willing, I came out of here unscathed. I'm in shape. I don't believe I'm there yet, though. You know, I just still got work to do to get back to where I was. So I'm going to party tonight, celebrate, spend time with my family, and then get back in the gym and train. And any one of these little mouthy fools can get it. Even that little fool at the desk, all of them, every single one of them can get a job. It does not matter. I'm back and I'm ready. Look at that fool in his bleeding house coat, that stupid tick.
Yeah.
Congratulations, sir, on a spectacular return. It was an honor to call your fight.
So you
There
heard
you
him
go.
talking about Jorge's stupid house suit, right?
Yes.
And he compares it to what the old women in Ireland wear.
Let's charge that up really quickly.
Yeah.
Connor, let me pull that up. Yeah, here we go. Here's Connor talking about Jorge Masvidal's outfit. Now, if you don't know what Jorge Masvidal wore, he wore the exact same Versace robe that Conor McGregor wore. Maybe you could pull that up on a side-by-side, Jalal, while they play this sound here.
And you mentioned, them making fake belts and stuff up too. Jorge Masvidal was cage side, and he was wearing a very familiar-looking outfit that I think you kind of made famous once. What did you make of that?
I talk about blowing it. If you ask me,
Talk about blowing
that
it.
was ridiculous. I didn't know what was going on there. Like I said, the old ladies in Ireland, they wear house coats watching the soap operas. So I'm like, what's this guy sitting up late? I don't know. Whatever. All the best.
All the best.
He, as the first, I'll talk about blowing it. Talk about blowing it. There you go. That's how Masvidal came in. Oh, I saw a side-by-side on Twitter. It had McGregor in the outfit.
Wearing the same one with the shorts.
Yeah, because, and a lot of people do. Masvidal was catching, I don't know if he did that to try to be like, to kind of punk Conor a little bit or be like, yo, I can do this better than you. I can pull this off better. That's how I saw it.
Yeah.
How I saw it was, hey, I look better in this than you do. I do this better than you do. But a lot of people on social media and all the people I saw, I didn't see anyone giving Masvidal any props. I saw everyone shitting on Masvidal, and I saw them saying he's copying Conor McGregor. Why is he jacking Conor McGregor's swag? Conor's already doing that. Why is he trying to be Conor? We have enough people trying to be Conor. Just be yourself, George. That was the sentiment that I saw on social. What did you see?
Yeah, same on that. Yeah, I don't know what Jorge Masvidal was doing with that, but that was obviously.
I thought, like I said, he was doing hey, I do this better than you.
I'm the new guy.
But I think maybe it went over everyone's head. No one. It just went over. No one got the joke.
Right.
But let me bring this clip back. This is what really charged up the Masvidal McGregor stuff.
And I know you said that you want to take some time off, heal and such, but you also said that you want the big money fights and such. Conor McGregor said that he is going to come back January 18th, and Dana White said...
Come back to what?
To MMA, to the UFC.
What do you mean, like fighting in the cage?
Yeah.
This is when he's eating pizza?
I've just been talking wild for a second. If he fights and gets a victory, and he wants this, and some of you motherfuckers are mean, man, because you know what the fuck I'll do to that little dude, bro. I'll fuck that little guy up, man. He's a fucking midget. Dana White, president of this motherfucking company, said I'm too much man for him. I get it why people want to see him hurt for the stunts he's been pulling, but he don't want this shit. He's just talking so he can get his name out there. He was cheering for Nate. He wanted to run it back with Nate. You think he's at home seeing that fight saying, I want to fight that dude? That dude ain't retarded. You see, he punches old people in the face because those are fights that he could win. He don't want this shit.
There you go. Jorge Masvidal, after knocking out, what's that kid with the hair? Ben Askren. Knocking him out, just taking him out like that. Blink of an eye.
Fastest knockout in UFC history.
He comes
5
back
seconds.
with that gem.
Yep.
Classic. So that's kind of what charged everything up there. And it'll be interesting to see. Now, right there, he said Dana White said I'm too much man for him because Conor, he didn't exactly say that, but he said, I think the guys at 170 are a little too big for Conor.
Correct.
It's like, I don't really like him going up to 170. Did you see the tweet he fired out Saturday night?
He reneged it.
He did. He retracted that and he said, Conor can fight, as far as Conor fighting at 170, he'll never hear another peep out of me.
Yep.
That's what he said.
That's sick.
So there'll be no more retractions, no more trying to hold him into one division. That's going to be interesting. Conor looked bigger, dude.
He did.
He looked barrel-chested like Gaston, bro. Did you see that?
I saw your tweet, yeah.
Dude, that fool's chest looked bigger. He looked ready to go, bro. He looked ready to go. I really enjoyed that. Let me see here. Let me try to catch up on a couple comments here. Nate Diaz will always have bloody fights because of the scar tissue, but he still has the late round stamina. But it's hard for him to make it to the 4th and 5th round because of the blood. Philly Mayer, exactly, dude. That was my point there. Cowboy, like you mentioned, TTF, loses all the big spotlight fights. It's like pressure of the spotlight gets to him. Not that it actually does, but damn, that was sad. I think that's how a lot of people felt, man. It was just sad. It was sad for me. Like I said, I felt like he was the broken down dog. He's just like looking around like, oh, where's the friends?
Do you guys think that was the right matchup for his first fight back for Connor's first fight back?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for Connor, absolutely.
Because Cerrone is dangerous. Cerrone is a banger, or was. He does pose that threat, but on paper, I don't think the threat's really there in real life anymore. But they could market it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's, like I said, what I loved is they gave so much video run and package highlights to Cowboy and all this stuff. And it was almost like a big legacy build-up, like, thanks for everything you've done for the UFC on a send-out type of shit. Here's a big fight. Let's see what you got. And we saw. And that's kind of it. That's kind of the best, or kind of the thing there. That was one of the worst cards, though. Philly Mayor said that in the chat. That was one of the worst cards.
Yeah,
like, as far as a main card, that wasn't worth, especially the length of the Conor fight. It was not worth $70. So if you're paying big money for that fight, yeah, I don't like that at all. Let me see here. Yeah, I guess let's just do this. Let's get into our NFL stuff. Let's just start out with this here.
I'll tell you what, it's been 7 years coming, baby. I learned one thing since I've been here. You gotta fight for your right to fight.
There you go, to Travis Kelce. Unbelievable.
So good.
The Travis Kelce up on the podium. He almost tried to jack the mic from what's his name? Hello, friends. Jim Nance.
Yeah, Jim Nance.
He grabbed the mic, and Jim was like holding on for dear life. Great job by Jim Nance. I got to give him a round of applause.
Well, because
holding on to that mic.
Jim Nance didn't know what to expect.
They always tell you when you are on that Super Bowl podium, do not ever let go of that mic. If you're on not Super Bowl podium, championship podium, but either way, Super Bowl, whatever. They tell you because players try to grab it, and then if you lose that mic as the broadcaster, the camera's now focused on you and you have no sound. All of a sudden, the players take the mic and run, or it's getting passed around the thing. Like, you have no control anymore. So he was like this, dude, and Travis Kelce was grabbing that thing. Fight for your right to party. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs getting the dub and the San Francisco 49ers. I think this is going to be the best possible Super Bowl matchup we could have had.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work out well for me. I went 0-2 on heaters. Shit my pants. Dow Palantonio split his pants with a 1-1. So that puts you...
I'd rather split than shot.
At a 50 burger, my man. You got a 50 burger for the year. 50, 37, and 3 on the year.
Nice.
I stay at 48. I dropped 2, 41, and 1. I think that's it. You went and clinched it. I owe you $20.
I took the season.
You started out like a pile of crap, and you came all the way back.
I've got that Diaz stamina.
You do, yeah. The late rounds.
Yeah, man.
Dow came through in the late rounds. Great job, Dow.
Robin appreciates it.
Whoa. What did you think of overall of the? We'll start with the first game. Entertaining. How you thought it was going to go. I know we both took the Titans on the spread, so that sucks. But what did you think of the performance of the Chiefs? What do you think was the big difference?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the big difference is shutting Derrick Henry down. He was unheard of in the second half. I thought the Chiefs readjusted perfectly during the second half, shut him down completely. I think Derrick Henry, the whole entire game, just had about 76 yards total. So he didn't have much. Kansas City did a great job shutting down their best player, arguably. I worry about the Chiefs, man. It seems like they don't start out very quick, and they let other teams start out pretty quick, but then they come in, and I don't know why they're starting to take a little longer to get their offensive battalion going. So it makes people a little nervous, obviously. But shutting Derrick Henry down, I think, was huge. And I think that's kind of where I leave it, man. Titans just didn't look very good. They looked confused out there. I thought Vrabel was going to put on a uni and come out.
Yeah, go out there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought so, but that's kind of what I have to say about that game. I didn't get to watch as much as I would have liked. I was helping Robin clean the house on that guy, so I spent most of my time on the late game. But I don't know, man. The Chiefs, like I said, Mahomes coming off of MVP season, his first season, and then now, obviously, the adjustment that Mahomes and Andy Reid made to be where they're at now has been incredible. Going to the run game yesterday, dude, the run game's been unheard of in Kansas City for a while. So shout out to making the right adjustments. We know that Andy Reid is just a just a huge offensive guy. Like he's a dreamer when it comes to offense. Like the schemes that he comes up with are amazing, and he's noted for that. But I think the ways they evolved and changed throughout the season, that's why they're here today. That's why they're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
no doubt.
It was for me, it was a tale of the not able to run the ball in the second half, like you said,
right,
and then rushing 3. How did you guys not realize? And I know that's what they kind of do on defense. Tennessee rushes 3 and they double cover in the secondary, but the 3 was obviously not getting enough pressure on Pat Mahomes, 1. And then you're facing a guy that's scrambling around. He's beating you all day with his legs, including the crazy run at the end of the first half down the sideline where it was like everyone was it was like the Titans were playing against Derrick Henry. Right. It was like Pat Mahomes was coming down the hill, Derrick Henry, no one wanted to touch him. They thought he was going out of bounds, or it kind of looked like one of those situations to me where you don't want to get light the quarterback up and get a penalty. But at that point, once he crosses the line, he's a runner, man. Put a hit on that guy. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? You just made him look like Lamar Jackson out there. No, he's a talented runner, but he's not Lamar Jackson as a runner.
Right.
Come on, guys.
He's not known as a runner.
So that was embarrassing. And you know what I thought? I was like, oh, I'm glad that happened right before halftime because Vrabel will be able to get his guys into the locker room at half.
Light them up.
Defensive coach, and he'll be on their ass. What in the hell was that, dude? What was the effort there? Are we in the playoffs or not? Is this the AFC Championship?
Right.
So that was disappointing. But yeah, man, rushing 3 guys and just letting him stand back there for 15 seconds every snap was the biggest difference for me. That allowed, I don't care if you double cover those receivers. If you don't pressure Pat Mahomes, those receivers are going to get open against triple coverage. They're faster than everybody on the field. They're Ferraris. It doesn't matter. Your double coverage didn't obviously work. Sammy Watkins is running free behind you. Over your head. You know what I mean? Like, it just didn't make sense. I didn't like the game plan the Titans came with. I thought they would have a better game plan defensively than that. I didn't think they would go with the same stuff they've been going with, the 3-man pressure. Especially you're playing a guy that can run the ball. You're playing a guy that's just too different behind the line. And he showed it. You give him that much time, that's what he's going to do to you. What about moving on to the San Francisco game?
Yes. This was interesting.
Oh, actually, wait. You had some Andy Reid shit, didn't you?
Well, yeah, not only just some Andy Reid shit, but yeah, check this out. So, this is kind of my 4 big takeaways from the conference championship games, right? So we look at Andy Reid, who has obviously never won a championship. He got close with the Eagles, taking McNabb there. Couldn't pull that out, unfortunately. But this is Andy Reid's best chance to win a Super Bowl, right? We look at how he has Mahomes, which is a better, arguably possibly a better quarterback than McNabb. Obviously, it's still too early to tell, but we're seeing, he's
going to be better than
dude,
John guy.
Mahomes coming off of MVP season, that's right?
A given.
He had 50 touchdowns, right? Touchdown passes and winning the MVP. But again, like I said, the adjustments that were made, his numbers are down a little bit this year from last year. He led, obviously, the Chiefs back from a 24-0 down divisional win round against Houston, and then 10 points down versus the Texans. So I think this is really Andy Reid's kind of come-out party. And the Chiefs, I believe, this is 50 years? Is that what the stats say on that?
Yeah.
So
I think something like that, yeah.
That's huge, man. So I think this is his best chance. We look at, again, the takeaways. The 49ers running game is a throwback to old Shanahan, right? We look at, not Kyle Shanahan, but we look at his pops, Mike Shanahan. He's doing throwbacks of really pound the ball, knockout, drag out. I know Tevin Coleman did get injured. I don't know that he came back. Did Tevin Coleman ever come back? From that,
hell no. He got
wrist?
carted out.
Yeah, the
carted
wrist,
out with
the
the
whole
elbow.
thing.
It was an elbow.
It was elbow. Is that what it was?
Elbow injury.
So, I mean, obviously the running.
Didn't matter, though. Mostert came through.
4 tutties?
Dude, oh, shit. I was going to say whoever had him in DraftKings, I shit the bet on DraftKings. I got to take that L.
Take that L on the way out.
The DraftKings, for some reason, when you post the DraftKings, every time you change a tier, it changes everything below back. So if you go from the bottom up, you're screwed. If you don't go from the top down. So I was filling it out quickly. I must have not paid close enough attention, and it paid out the top 8 places instead of paying it all to first. Mm-hmm. So Landdog won. Hit me up, bro. I'll send you some socks or some shit. Like, I'll work it out with you. I feel bad that you didn't get the whole pot. And happy birthday to everyone else that shit the bed but took top 8 and got some money for no reason. That was my bad. I feel bad for Landon. So Landon, hit me up, bro. We'll work it out. I'll make sure I take care of you on something, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Should have had the bigger payday than it was. So
Yeah, so we look at their running game, and obviously that was huge. But we look back, my big concern is obviously Kansas City is a big juggernaut when it comes to offense. But we look at what they did with offense, the 49ers. You know, you had Mostert running for 285 yards on 42 attempts, 29 carries and 4 tutties, which is huge, right?
No doubt.
Momentous for Mostert. So obviously they have a running game. We knew they've had a running game. They still have Breida. Breida wasn't even heard of this game, really. But I do worry about Jimmy G. I know that he can win games. He's shown that a couple times this year, but he only attempted 8 passes and completing for 70 yards.
Didn't need to.
I know, they didn't need to.
Score? He didn't even need to. He could have thrown twice. People are bashing him today on social media. I don't understand.
And I shouldn't bash him.
He did what he did, what the game script, what the coach needed him to do. I mean, what do you want the guy to throw the ball? They're up 27-0 at halftime.
And you don't want to challenge picks. You don't want to challenge the interceptions, anything like that. So I think that was smart. But I think what's not been tested yet in the big games is, can Garoppolo go against an offensive juggernaut like the Kansas City Chiefs and take the win? Because you're going to have to throw the ball. You're going to have to be versatile, and your D has got to keep stepping up continually like they have. So I think the defense probably obviously wins Super Bowls. We had that with the Broncos. So maybe Jimmy G doesn't even need to do anything on the Super Bowl. We'll just have to kind of see, but I am a little worried about that. But you cannot beat the defense and the running game of the 49ers. And then I would
You don't think the D is going to slow them down at all, the Chiefs? You don't think they're going to have to you don't think they're going to struggle a little bit? You think they're just going to put up the numbers they've been putting up?
No, not at all. No, not with Bosa at the helm, dude. And you also had a few other people coming back. You got the best cornerback in the league.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So
I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry.
I think the Chiefs' defense is good. It's good, but I don't know if it's good enough to win it all. You look at, obviously, Reed to replace Bob Sutton as defensive coordinator with Steve Spagnuolo.
They turned around. The Chiefs' D was the biggest detriment to that team earlier on in the year. They couldn't stop the run. Their safeties were getting eaten up. Sorensen looked great yesterday. That guy had a couple big-time plays from the safety position. So the Chiefs, they're playing better D. They're not even close to what San Francisco's D is, but they're playing better.
Right.
And they also get 2 weeks to heal up. Chris Jones, he played yesterday. He had an impact on the game. He wasn't 100%. They were bringing him in on third down plays only, but that was big. I mean, so they're going to have some time to heal up.
Sure.
There's some time before the Super Bowl.
Well,
look
what their D did against Derrick Henry. 19 carries, 69 yards, and so you would hope that the 49ers don't have the running game that they had yesterday.
I think that was more here's what I'll say. I don't want to take anything away from the Chiefs D. I see that stats there. But when you're a team like the Titans that's run first and you rely on that run, once a team gets up on you, you're screwed. You can't keep going to that. So I think it was more of the fact that they had to start trying to throw to keep up with Kansas City versus Henry being shut down. Guy was still ripping off big runs in the first half.
10 yards was easy.
So he got shut down in the second half because the offense got going for the Chiefs and started lighting up the scoreboard.
Right.
So, I mean, take it for what it is. I don't know. And, dude, Henry is not the slow I'm sorry, not Henry. The Niners are not the same kind of slow run first offense. They're a run first offense, but they'll run and gun you. They'll bring Mostert with some crazy motion in the backfield, some double reverse shit. They'll get it out there to Deebo Samuel. He'll throw a pass. They'll do some crazy shit that the Chiefs, they're going to have to be ready for.
Deebo Samuel is the best non-running back on the team.
Yes. Yes.
He really is.
Patrick Mahomes is the best running back the Chiefs have, though. Past 2 games, he's led the team in rushing. Did you know that?
Did he?
He led the team in rushing yesterday, and he led the team in rushing the week before.
Even more than Williams?
Yes, he led the team in rushing. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's
crazy.
The best running back they have currently.
That's crazy. What do you think about the Frank Clark and obviously Chris Jones coming back with the Chiefs? Obviously a big boost.
Like I said, big boost.
Huge,
and
right?
like I said, Jones yesterday, they didn't play him fully, but he was in there on third downs. He had
third down plays, he was huge.
Yep, had some big stops. So I think it's going to be big for them getting them back for the Super Bowl. The thing that was very interesting to me right after the game, the line on the Super Bowl. Kansas City favored by 1.5 right now is the early line. That blew my mind. What did you think on that? What did you think the line was going to be? Me and Roselli were talking when we were watching the game yesterday. I was watching at my aunt's house, and we thought for sure 4 or 5 San Francisco.
Yeah, at
favored.
least. I was probably thinking 3.5 San Fran.
What is Vegas seeing that we're not seeing here?
MVP candidate with the most rushing yards on the team.
I feel like Vegas usually.
I don't know.
I feel like Vegas normally keeps their head in a situation like this. They normally don't let the offensive team get too crazy. They don't let the offense be the reason. Better defense beats better offense.
Right.
And what happened in the? We're talking about an offense that set every record you could set against the year the Broncos got blown out by the Seahawks. Set tons of passing yard records, touchdown records, all this shit. Most prolific offense in NFL history, the 2014, 2015 season. And then they get smoked. Oh, no, that was early. This is 2012, 2013. They get smoked by the Seahawks.
Right.
I feel like defense wins out. Great defense wins out against great offense. And it's weird to me that Vegas is not seeing that. It's also weird to me that Vegas is not seeing Kansas City. Yes, they just had 2 good blowout wins. They played them both at home. They have the best home field advantage, arguably the best home field advantage in the league.
Biggest decibel ratings.
It seems interesting.
What do they see we don't see?
It seems fishy, actually. Seems like Vegas is begging you to take the Niners, and some shit's going on that's behind the scenes. Lamar Hunt's coming out of his grave here.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's about to his name's on the trophy the Chiefs got yesterday.
Yeah.
Some fishy stuff's happening.
Did Bosa break his leg all of a sudden that we don't know?
I don't know. I have no idea. That's my take. I think the spread over under, you're looking at 52 or 53 depending on your sports book currently.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll give our heaters obviously the show before the Super Bowl. But shout out to you, Dal. You are leading the pick'em, the NFL playoff pick'em. You're leading by 1 game. So as long as you can get the Super Bowl correct, you'll take it all.
Yeah.
If James Guragna gets the Super Bowl correct and you get it wrong, you guys are going to tie.
I'm going to push.
And split the pot.
You got it.
So hopefully you can get a dub and James can take that L on the way out.
Take that L on the
way out. For you. I'm cheering for James. So.
Oh, see how you are?
I'm just let's finish this up. Some of the biggest bets to come through on the Super Bowl so far. We talked a little bit about odds, Chief being favored by 1.5. Someone came in yesterday and at the William Hill Sportsbook and put $100,000 on the Niners money line, and they got it at even money. So it's 100 G's to win 100 G's. If the Niners just win straight up, no spread. Another better came through with $55,000 on the Chiefs -1 at the MGM. So they're taking the Chiefs -1. It's now up to 1.5 at most books. I haven't seen it at 1.
Okay.
I think the initial line it dropped was 1, but most open at 1.5. The Superbook at the Westgate Las Vegas took the largest reported bet on the game so far with $110,000 wagered on the over 52.5 points.
Oh, wow.
So there you go. That's the biggest bet so far. And lastly, let's see. Oh, there's also 33 G's on the Chiefs for a pick'em. That was the first bet to come through at all.
So since I sold my house and say I gave you $100,000, what are you putting it on?
Oh man, I'm not that confident.
Yeah.
It just feels too easy. The Niners plus 1.5 feels insanely easy. It feels like taking candy from a baby. It just feels, I don't know. I just, again, I go good defense versus good offense. If you have great defense and you have great offense and they're both equally great and they're both doing their thing, I take defense.
Yeah.
I just saw it happen to us in 2013, whatever that was, with the Broncos. I saw it happen. I've seen it happen a few different times. Pittsburgh Steelers, their D, whenever someone has a really high-powered offense, whenever they meet an insane defense, best of the best, it feels like it always comes out D.
Yeah, I remember Carolina back in the day. They were that high-prolific offense. Remember that? Yeah, against Seahawks, like you said.
Oh, no. That was opposite. So we almost flipped the script, bro. So Broncos got killed by Seattle's D.
Right.
Carolina got killed by the Broncos D. The Broncos was the crazy D in 2015.
That's right.
We had the thumpers. We had the turnovers. We were crazy.
Because that was when Peyton was kind of on his
was terrible
downward spiral.
He was terrible in that. He was terrible that year. He was terrible in the Super Bowl. Brock Osweiler had to come in and win 6 games for us.
Your boy Brock.
So, I mean, yeah, that was the worst offense ever. But their offense, remember Cam Newton had them humming, had them going. They were putting up all kinds of points.
Because I had him. Out. I had Cam in fantasy that year as my QB.
Right.
And I won all leagues.
And that was Super Bowl 50. Let me see what the spread. What was the spread on Super Bowl 50? Super Bowl 50 spread was, oh, come on. Denver Panthers favored by 3.5, but as money poured in on the Panthers, they were favored by as much as 6.
Oh, jeez.
Damn, so people go crazy on this offensive shit. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe Vegas is stupid. Because they still had the Panthers favored over the Broncos with that crazy defense that year.
Wow.
I know we had no offense, but we didn't need it.
None.
Von Miller came through with that strip sack of Cam Newton, setting up the score from the goal line.
At the start of the game.
Yeah, dude. You had that crazy punt return. It was, I like that. I like that. So maybe Vegas is, maybe they're just all on offense. Maybe I'm the one that's wrong. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
That's going to be fun. Super Bowl coming up. We'll talk a lot more about that as the weeks go on. But shout out to the Chiefs fans. Shout out to the Bay Area, all the Niners fans. We have a few different Chiefs fans here in our chat. We have some Niners fans. Shout out to Pena, AP, Choner, all you guys supporting the Chiefs and the Niners for the Super Bowl. It's going to be fun. Probably some shit talking in there.
Real quick, since we're talking about the 49ers, what do you know about Katie Sowers?
Oh, yes. Let's finish up the football talk on that. I saw her on the Microsoft commercial. That was the first time I've heard about her.
Gotcha.
And then I saw a little spotlight on like ESPN or something with her. She's she's some kind of
she's an offensive assistant coach.
Okay, assistant coach for the Niners.
Yep, and she came into the 49ers organization since 2017. She began her career playing in the Women's Football Alliance. So check this out, man. She's got kind of a crazy resume. So she spent her 4th season in the NFL and second as an offensive assistant with the 49ers. She previously spent the 2017 season with the team as a seasonal offensive assistant. Sowers originally joined San Francisco in June of 2017 as part of the 49ers 2017 Bill Walsh Minority Fellowship, where she worked with the team's wide receivers exclusively. In 2016, Sauer spent the offseason training camp in the same capacity with the Atlanta Falcons. With the Falcons, she worked closely with Atlanta assistant head coach, wide receivers coach Raheem Morris in organizing, conducting, and concluding practice drills. Following her time on the field as a coach, she spent 9 months as a scouting intern with the Falcons. Sowers joined Atlanta after spending 5 years, 2012 to 2016, as the athletic director of the city of Kansas City. A former member of the 2013 United States women's national football team and player herself in the Women's Football Alliance. For 8 years, Sowers earned her master's degree in kinesiology with an emphasis in, I don't know what that is.
Kinesiology probably.
With pedagogy, I don't know, from University of Central Missouri in 2012. So I think why it's important to talk about these accolades is this is the first woman going into the Super Bowl as a coach. That's pretty damn
really cool. Yeah,
you know.
Yep.
So I think it's worth talking about kind of some of her accolades, where she started, where she's been, how did she get to this point? And good for her, man. This is quite a journey that she's been on. But literally, Katie Sowers continues to make NFL history. She will be the first female to coach in a Super Bowl as the 49ers take on the Chiefs next month. Pretty cool bringing her up, man.
Very cool. There's the Sarah Thomas, the female referee as well. I don't think she's reffing the Super Bowl, but pretty cool to see out there. Just shit's changing, bro.
Breaking boundaries.
Changing. These are a lot of women that grew up under fathers that probably just loved the game, dude. And as we're starting to see more of that, and as we're starting to see more and more acceptance of women in every single workplace, not just certain workplaces and stuff like that, we're going to see more and more of these changes. And I think unless something crazy happens, she will be the female head coach, I think. Yeah. She's already on the way on that path. We talked about homegirl down in San Antonio. Under Greg Popovich, Becky Hammond.
Yep.
So down there, so we're seeing it across multiple sports, man. All right, let's move into sneakers and fashion this week, brought to you by Hefe Lux. Make sure you use the code underrated on the Hefe Lux website to boost your comfort, save your OG insoles on your shoes. Just buy some Hefe Lux insoles, throw them on the inside of your shoes, and it'll give you not only it'll save your insoles, it'll give you a more comfortable feel in your Jordans or whatever other shoes you're wearing. It'll give you kind of a boost comfort in essence. So that's underrated on HefeLux.com. Save yourself some money on the Hefe Lux insoles. All right, let's go into sneakers and fashion, and let me see here.
What do you want to start out with today?
Did you hit on the drop on Saturday? Did you go for the Travis's?
I did, yes.
Kids?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. I think that was, what have you guys seen resale on those at all?
I think it's probably in the 200 range.
That was a good come up. Those things were $75.
$75.
$65 for the toddler joints. And I didn't get hit on either of them. Philly Mayor hit me up to go for them, and took a fat L.
Let's see here. Travis, the toddlers, let's just kind of take a look at some of these here. No, not as much. It seems like it's dropped. The 10.5C, I don't know all these Cs and what all this means here necessarily. I just know they're toddler sizes. But the 10.5C is going for $239. Another great size would be the 10C at $150. The rest are right about 120s, 130s, 140s. So you're still doubling your money.
Huh.
Essentially,
folding, baby.
If you
folding.
buy that. So, I mean, there's still cash to be to be had with that. And
did you go for those, Jalal?
No, I did not.
Damn it! I should.
You don't like to make money?
Me neither. I was busy.
He's busy selling his own stuff. Did you see his stuff up on the website?
I did.
I told you guys a long time ago, man. I'm just discouraged by all the releases, so I don't even try.
Right. Discouraged.
If we get some bots, then I'll be down.
You're a bot, bro.
What do you want to go to next? Because we have a couple different boxes here.
Yeah.
Are we going into that?
Yeah, I think we'll just do the boxes real quick, and then we'll talk about some things to look out that have spiked my interest at least.
Okay.
So
yeah,
let's start off with another Yeezy. How about that?
Love it. Con Lee. Shout out to my man Con Lee. Come and throw $2 donation in the chat, super chat. Dal keeps wearing my hoodie. Look at that. Come on, Dal. Stop wearing his hoodie.
I know. He's never hit me up. I'll sell it off my back right now.
Oh, you'll sell that hoodie?
Let's go.
I'll sell this vintage Coors Light jacket.
I like that.
I might not. We're talking about, speaking of that, we have some stuff coming up on the website. We're going to have like a little closet tab up on the website where we're just going to start throwing up, old vintage, old stuff we're getting rid of. All three of us sell sneakers, different sizes. Jalal wears between a 9 and a 10. Dal wears is between a 10 and an 11. I wear the 12. So
all my stuff's already up there. You guys will be getting your stuff up here pretty soon. But
that's a goal for this week. I got to bring my kicks and all my shit in and get that listed up there. So keep a look out on the website under the closet tab, man. We'll have some things on there for you.
Yeah.
But let's get into this box. We shot the review for these the other day.
We did.
So that'll be coming out this week. Be on the lookout for it. And if you guys aren't up on the sneaker reviews in general, I don't know what you're doing. Everyone's crying about sneaker reviews. So I'm putting out sneaker reviews for you guys. And if you're not watching them, I don't know.
You're losing. All right, so this is the third iteration of the Yeezy 700. This is the Yeezy 700 Aziel or Azil. Hebrew. That's all I know.
Yes.
Okay.
Aziel.
I like that. Nice. Very good. Tune into the review. You'll see how we pronounced it there. But so obviously, we've both taken a look at this shoe. This isn't quite a first take because we did have to review this, but this is what allows, Chais and all of us to kind of take a look. Jalal, you didn't really see this too much here.
Give him a little. Yeah,
so for me, let's break this down here. A couple of points that I want to hit on. $200 versus $300, right? We've known that the 700 series has always gone for $300, but we also know that the 700 series goes way below retail on the resale market, right? So right now, I was thinking about picking up the Geodes, which is a V2 of the 700, and I can get that damn thing for $220. So the Azil does retail for $200, which is super nice for the pocketbook. But as we, as the Most Underrated Podcast, have gotten this in hand, we don't have a lot of good things to say about it. Even myself, who did make sure to wear it all damn day and all night. We had date night at Sushi Den. Hate sushi, but the lady wanted it. Her mom wanted it. I was there to not shit on their parade. Had some sushi.
Nice.
I had some egg rolls.
Look at you growing up.
I had some gyoza, which is pretty
gyoza.
Good. Gyoza. You gotta say it like that, man. Like you're gonna karate chop somebody's head.
Gyoza.
Nope.
That's not right.
No.
When I order it.
Gyoza.
Hi, ma'am. Can I get some gyoza?
There you go.
Okay.
So again, $200 on this price point, and what we found out is a couple good things. Price point. Price point's really good. For me, who's still a child at 37 years old, I love that it glows. I think that's really cool. That's a staple for me. I think that's pretty important to me. Outside of that, I do like the neoprene booty upper construction, okay? Because when I put my foot in there, if you don't go a half up on this shoe, you're going to have a hard time. Like I said, I think your domestic partner may need to help you get the shoe on. You said, go ahead and grab a shoehorn.
Yeah.
Either way, Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn. So it is a hard shoe to get on foot, first of all. But once it's on, it does have a real unique way of locking your foot in with that neoprene, and it's very comfortable on the upper side of things. Outside of that, I am really struggling to find anything else good about this shoe.
Wow. Struggling.
I am, man. Go ahead and give your take on what this shoe looks like from when you're looking at it face forward.
I think I talked about that when we were looking at pictures, and I've been trying to get more of these shoes that I shit on before we get like in photos and stuff in hand to make my final determination. Because there's going to be shoes like the Dunks that just turn me around a little bit based off of the quality, based off of in hand, based how they look on feet, different things like that. This shoe is just not that case. This is not really turning me around. I think $200 is highway robbery, but I'm glad they dropped it down from $300 because you're getting no boost. You're getting worse materials than the 700 or 700 V2 on this V3.
You hate that toe box.
It feels like they're going backwards to me. It just feels like it's like aren't we supposed to be? For me, I look at V1, V2, V3 as improvements over the last. They're looking at it from a different lens. I think they're looking at it as more of instead of an improvement, they're looking at it as more of a accessibility, or, hey, we'll make these more affordable for people. We'll make these at a better value because maybe not everyone can get the $300 V1 or V2. Well, let me tell you this. If they're spending $200 on their shoes, they're probably spending $300. Okay, so don't worry about that, Adidas. Stop cutting yourself off to spite your face. Look at this. They did or cut your nose off to spite your face. It's the saying. But they did this rubberized toe guard, which is the same. It's a piece of material that they've used on the 500s. Not a fan of that. No. It looks, when you're walking around on feet, just the way that creases and folds, don't like it. Don't like the way it looks. I'd much rather have suede. But I understand. They had to drop the price from $300 to $200, so you're no longer getting suede. You're no longer getting boost. You're no longer getting these nicer things. You're getting mesh underneath here.
Right.
You're no longer getting the nicer stuff. And you were telling me that they've made some comfort improvements from the 700 V1 to the 700 V2.
Yes.
I have yet to try a 700 V2. I'm not in love with the colorways, so I'm waiting for one that I really like. This, I don't think they could come out with a colorway that would make me, for one, pay $200, and for two, for that kind of comfort. $200 for a shoe that not only it doesn't look great, but it doesn't feel great.
Yeah, it doesn't. On feet, I'll kind of give you my my take on how it feels on foot. So it does have EVA foam, and that's really it. The actual midsole of the shoe is super firm to the touch.
It's hard.
Like,
dude.
it is hard,
yeah,
dude.
like you feel this. You're not like, that's going to be, it looks in photos like, this might give me a cushion.
No, not at all.
This is not.
It is, and it feels really, really bulky on foot, in my opinion.
This is a step backwards from Adiprene.
It is.
It's a step backwards from Adiprene.
What I would say, I want to be clear on this too, because I have a couple of Yeezy. I have the Utility Black 500s. I have the Salt 500s, and I think the Adiprene is more comfortable. The Adiprene Plus, I think is what they call it. Yeah.
Adiprene Plus that they put on the 500s.
More comfortable than this shoe, is what I would say.
Okay.
So
you're also getting suede on those. Your foot's against the upper on the 500s is nice. It's plush.
Yeah.
We just looked at a pair of those 500 highs.
Yeah. The neoprene feels good on these, but that's all that really feels good on this shoe.
So this neoprene booty construction on the inside is what feels good.
That's the only thing I love about the feel. Otherwise, it feels bulky. It feels hard. It does feel a little clunky as I'm wearing them last night at the Sushi Did. As I'm wearing them, getting in and out of the car. Man, I wanted to put just something with React or something with Boost on so bad.
Yeah, man, that's the only, the fact that it looks like an and one shoe to me in the front, and it just looks like an and one Walmart. When and one sold out to Walmart, that's what it looks like. It just looks like just what I had to be forced to wear as a kid.
Yeah.
Also, this
and ones were fire though.
They were until they went to
the little strip there with the different colors on
until
the
they went to Walmart. They were they were fire.
Yeah. So they're right next to Shaq's brand.
Yeah, exactly. The laces on this is basically if you have any Nike hoodies or like Jordan brand or Nike Dry Fit hoodie, that's exactly what this pair of shoelaces looks like.
Yeah.
It just looks like a black hoodie lace, and it's got a nice, peep that out. Tell me if you don't. Tell me if you don't agree on that, Jalal. Look at the lace tips. Doesn't that look exactly like what you get on a Nike or a Jordan brand
it's like a
hoodie?
Jordan, yep.
So that's what you're getting on the laces.
Like melted on there.
Yep, that's what you're getting on the laces.
Not dipped.
And then I mean the sides are just they look like it looks like an orifice.
Yeah.
Looks like this would be leaking pus. This looks like Resident Evil.
These should have been called the Aliens,
Exactly.
not the 380s. These should have been called the Aliens, but they weren't. It's a Hebrew name. It is what it is. It does have the same like structure and build midsole as the 380s, but obviously the 380s have boost, and which is a big improvement.
How are these reselling for between $500 and $700? That's what I just don't get. It's
I'll tell you.
The OG.
It's because it's the OG and because it was only sold in North America and Asia.
Right.
Nowhere else.
Wow.
So everybody else is paying and having to pay resale, harder to get. They keep talking about restocking this OG colorway, whether it's Adidas, whether it's Yeezy Supply, whether it's different countries, but they have not yet. They've talked about more about the second iteration of this or colorway, which is black. I know you've probably seen this in black leaked around, but again, there's no date for that, but that's what makes it a little bit more expensive, just because it was, supply and demand.
Right. All right, let's go to the next.
All right.
The next box. Jalal, I put a Twitter link right underneath the sneaker segment. If you'll just pull that up to have it ready after we talk about this one. Okay. It's just a little video that just...
Dude, I need some drum rolls. I need something on this, man. This is a shoe that you didn't know that I was going to have for the cast today. This is a shoe that I think you are more pumped on than I am. And you're not a story guy. So, without further ado...
Hold up, bud. Let me don't pull it out yet. Let me Dang
it.
I was trying to give you some drum rolls and shit, but
you're leaving me with shoe blue balls.
Get the shoe out.
Shoe
I don't have
balls.
any more time for you. Get the
shoe balls.
Pull the shoe out. Tell me you want all this shit. I try to get you all this shit, and now it's not enough shit.
All right. So, I know you don't know what this is yet, but we're talking Nike SB box, right?
Yes.
The old Tiffany colorway.
That's what we're talking.
We're not talking shiny. The new SB Dunks, a lot of them have done the black and the Tiffany shiny box, right?
Yes.
Gloss. Not this one.
Nah.
We're going with the matte finish on this one. Have any ideas of what this might be?
Yes.
Ooh-hoo-hoo.
I do.
All right, let me open this bad boy up.
Yeah.
Can you shoot me that link, though? It's not updated yet.
Oh, it didn't pop in? All right, cool.
Just send me it, too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow, there you go, bud.
Somebody got the P-Rod specials already.
Somebody did.
Somebody that I used to know.
How did you get those so
How'd you
early?
pull that off?
Nice one, Dow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
The global sneaker release is tomorrow, but...
You hit up P-Rod, huh?
I hit up P-Rod. I did.
P-Rod came through.
I DM'd the Rod. You know what I mean? And said, "What's up, guy?" But no, these
sometimes
if you're in tune with a lot of the local skate shops in your area, raffles and first come first serves have already happened. People are getting their pairs. People have their pairs. Premier Skate Shop has already through Frenzy, as the app they use, have already shipped out all their pairs. So I don't have it that early. Let's be honest. But I had a homie oop me that was local to one of our local skate shops here. Went and picked this up last night. Super, super proud to have them for the cast today.
Look at that, man.
What do you think? First take on these, man? Because we were pretty pumped on them, man. Seeing them on video. We were talking about them last cast. What do you think,
cool.
man?
Very cool shoe. So cool, man. I don't know that if I got this pair, I don't know that it's a pair I would ever let touch the ground or wear.
Yeah.
Just because they're all white, and I just don't see the point of it. I don't really like all white shoes like that to wear. But these are great. These are so great. These are awesome in person.
Yeah.
I thought these would be, man. From the photos we looked at, I think we were really excited. I love these. Yeah, this is a pair that I would probably put in like a boxing case with some gloves, little, maybe the Supreme robe, and I'd have like a little setup going.
Right.
I'd have like just a little shrine.
Some Mexican shorts.
Sneaker room. Yeah, dude, exactly. Maybe you need to reach out to Mile High Mike Alvarado, bro. Get yourself some. Look at that.
Those are sick.
So then you can kind of see the difference. So you have green going into the white stripe on the left shoe, and then red going into the white stripe or white check on the right shoe. You have the extra set of green laces.
Nice.
Come stock laced with the factory whites. The
no
bottoms.
Reds, huh?
No reds. I think
Interesting.
that's an L.
That's interesting. Why? Why would you do all this shit and not include red, white, and green laces?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So that's kind of an L on on their behalf, I think. But to have the red, white, and green bottoms, I think are great. Green laces, the quality, man, just the trunk aspect within the tongue. I guess it would be satin. Do you see satin on the back of that? Where you put your foot in? Is that satin? Like
yeah. Like a satin or a neoprene lining. Yep.
Which is really, really nice there. I think the play for me, if they had red, I would do one red lace in one shoe and one green in the other one. I think would be really cool.
Because the shoe's already all white.
Because it's already all white.
Right. There's already so much white.
Are you rocking these?
I haven't decided quite yet, man. I wasn't able to get my exact size, but some dunks I can go to 10.5. So this is a 10.5.
The insole's not glued in, so don't worry.
Is it not? Okay. No. What does the insole say? Does it have anything cool?
Dude, yes.
Oh,
taped
sick.
up. It is a taped up boxing fist. Is it? Oh, no, it's a glove. Oh, no, it's taped up boxing fist. Yeah.
That's tight.
Taped up right before you put the glove on.
Uh-huh.
And then it's got the Paul Rodriguez. You can see the arm down here with the Nike SB at the bottom. Very, very cool. Is that one the same?
Still got the Zoom Air, it looks like. Let me pull this one out here.
Does he have like boxing? Does he box at all, or does he just enjoy the sport?
I think he's just a fan.
I think a fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paul Rodriguez, the heritage,
the culture.
name, the culture.
That
Hispanics
part,
are
I just
very,
wondered if there was, because he
Nike.
has, it's tied up, but he has his own like wraps. It says Paul Rodriguez on the wrist.
Oh yeah.
So, like, wondered if he
It's
boxed
the same
It's
on
just
this
the
one.
same. I think it's the same, just this logo up
Yeah.
top. Yeah. But no, man, that's super cool. This is an A+ on this shoe. They did an awesome job. The only thing that's the L for me is the they're not including the red laces, but whatever. You can pick those up anywhere. I would have liked a little cooler box, but I understand it's Nike SB. They did do the all Tiffany, not the glossy black and Tiffany like they've been doing on all the retros or all the new drops. But I would have liked a crazy boxing ring theme box, something cool like that. But it is what it is. I'll still take it. I think it's dope.
Here's the great news with this shoe. So this shoe retails at $125 even.
Nice.
Kind of an odd price, right?
Yeah.
From the 100 to the 110 to the 125 now.
Yeah.
So obviously with collaborations, the highs versus the lows are obviously more materials, costs a little bit more. Right now, even in your size, they're not going for too much on resale. Resale on them is right about $175 to that $200 range. And the global release of sneakers hasn't even happened yet.
Wow.
So is this a pair based off of that price that you think you might go for?
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
What's the most you spent on this? Size 12. 200?
The most I'd spend, man.
220?
It's tough to spend that on a shoe you're not going to wear right now, too.
Right.
I can see you getting them for retail.
Yeah, I think the most I could go is 200. That's the most.
Is it?
But I'm hoping there's a lot of, I'm thinking, I'm not going to have to pay that much based off of your info.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. So right now, Stock X, check this out. Size 12, dude. $150.
There you go. I like that. 25 over retail plus the shipping and all the nonsense.
$150 right now.
I like it.
In my size, 161. In the 10.5, 152. Prices aren't bad, dude. I would buy this shoe. I might even buy two. If you like the shoe, buy one to rock, one to stock. I think this will have value, obviously, a couple years down the road as dunks die out, phase out, come back. This would be one to have in the collection for later as well.
They'll said the SB High bloodlines.
Yeah, for sure.
That's true. The only reason, because I hate the bloodlines, the only reason I rock with the piping on this shoe is because of the boxing. It's traditional with boxing shorts on the trim, all that stuff. So that's why I like it on here. It makes sense. The bloodlines, that didn't even look like a bloodline to me.
Yeah.
It looks like some piping on a leather that didn't need to be there.
Crap line.
Yeah, neighborhoods out on that. They don't have adiprene. That's nuts, huh? No adiprene on those.
No adiprene.
Yeah, Jalal is right. And one pre-Walmart. Yeah, they need a bit more color on the upper. That's what we were saying, man. If they just included red and green laces, you could put one red, one green, then you kind of have everything you need there, and it helps that color out.
Mm-hmm.
You put white laces on a white tongue on a white shoe.
That's too much white.
Where do you go? Yeah, I'm with you. Phil Beast. A little more color. Dope, Dow. Thanks for bringing those in. Nice,
man.
Nice pickup, guy.
Thank you.
Nice cop. Great job. Great job. Finishing out sneakers. What what else did you want to hit on? Some other releases?
Yeah, we'll have Jalal pull up some pictures and we get.
Here, pull this up first, Jalal, before we while you pull your stuff up. Did you get that video?
Yeah.
I text you. This just dropped on Twitter. Philly, this is what Philly Mayor was talking about in the chat. He said they just dropped a
nice. Official look. So we know the highs are going I don't even know if I'd pay retail. If I had the opportunity,
I'd sell the shit. It's a pair that I see what you're trying to sell. It's not a pair that I'm like, oh, those are so cool. I'm just there's nothing special about that. It's not worth the price they're going to cost. It's not it's for people. It's a Keist shoe. It's for people like Keist that need to have it to keep up that ultimate hype beast on YouTube. Post it on their Instagram. I have it. You don't. That's not art. That's not my type of shit.
Right, for sure.
My type of shit. What I like.
I like the lows better than the highs.
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, if I could get it at retail, I guess I would, because I'd probably try to bring it in here and then sell it.
Right.
You know, but I'm not going to get it at retail, so I'm not too worried about it. But cool.
Interesting. They're coming out with the low too. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't rock with that. All right, what do you got?
All right, man. So next shoe up, we have a golf shoe, and I know you're not a big golfer by any means. I know.
Oh shit! Can't hear you guys over the video. Sorry, music too loud. Oh, I guess when you played that,
is it the Dior?
It messed everything up, Jalal. Sorry, guys. Just trying to show you some new shit. It's not stuff we had planned. Let's not ever do anything on the fly anymore because we fuck it up. We can't. Let's just do only the stuff we've planned.
Gotta mute that out.
Sorry, guys. I tried to pull a video from Twitter. Yeah.
All good.
Ruining the show. Just trying to let you guys be a part of it and just ruining the show. That's fine.
Saint Skinner says,
I'm
almost
sorry,
blew
guys.
the AirPod out of my ear.
And there was nothing to hear. That's the
My
thing.
fault.
Everyone's like, I couldn't hear anything. There was nothing to hear on there, and then you just couldn't hear us. So, yeah, it's just ruining the show.
That's the worst.
Sorry, guys. I apologize.
All right, we're back in business here. So next shoe on the block here, the Nike Air Max 97 Golf returns with yet more grassy uppers. Wrong one, Jalal.
More grassy uppers.
That's the one that was in there.
Uppers that
it's on the bottom.
Uppers that can get grass stained more easily, you mean?
No, actual grass.
Okay.
On the top of the upper, which is pretty sweet, actually.
R.I.P. to my right ear. John King. I'm sorry, dude.
So, Jalal pulls that up here. So, it's just a traditional 97, white bottom, yellow in the...
wait. Are those are golf shoes?
Golf shoes, for sure.
Not regular shoes. Gotcha.
No, these are golf shoes.
Nice.
And I think I might cop these, man. I need a new golf shoe. Pretty pumped on it. We're looking at a retail cost of $180, but the full upper is all in grass. The lower is white with a yellow. It almost looks like a Masters. Like a Masters shoe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something you take to the Masters tournament. I think it's perfect for that.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at all the comments. Turned down the music. Music too loud. Almost blew the iPod out of my ear. Almost blew my speakers. Didn't hear a damn thing y'all said. Sorry, guys. Jeez.
Dang, no more first looks in this bitch.
I'm lefty, John. Pod blown.
There you go.
There you go.
That is the one.
No more first looks.
I think I'd almost rather have the phone that has the grass attached to it. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Wow. Those are crazy, dude.
What's with all the technology around there?
Those are crazy.
It's like an old computer.
That's
laptop.
really old tech. Yeah, old Macs, it looks
Everything, all the tech in the whole thing is old. The computers, the phone, the old-ass golf club there.
Yeah, that is weird.
Interesting.
Huh. Yeah, it looks like the old ping zing
That's a cop
irons.
for you, Dal?
Yeah, I think I might cop that, man. I've been, we know that obviously the 97s run very, very small. They're very narrow, so you go a half size up on those. But yeah, man, I think I could freak those on the golf course, and yeah, I think I'd make a statement, and I need to have those.
Nice.
I don't think they're the coolest.
I'll look forward to you bringing them in.
Yeah, I don't think they're the coolest, but I think I like them. But they release the 27th of this month, so at a price point of $180.
Nice.
So I think I'll try to cop those. And then the last one that I kind of want to talk about here is another mid. I know we're kind of all over the mids. I know there's been a lot that dropped. Some are hot,
Yeah.
But these are the Sheila. I think it's Rashid's is her last name. Collab with Air Jordan 1 called the Unite. I'm a big gray enthusiast.
Those look like the Fila Rashids.
Fila Rashids?
Man, I don't.
Or Rashids?
I don't know. What is that? It's such a suede on the back?
Yeah. Just looks like kind of long-haired suede on that. Again, I'm not a big mid fan. The last mid I bought was the Fearless mids. I think those are great. I've wore those a few times. These are interesting. I think what would make these cooler and better, obviously, if they were a high. But I like the Jumpman on the tongue. I think it bodes well. I like that tumbled leather that's on the tongue. I love the long-haired suede. I'm a big suede guy, and I love gray. So for these and having the laces, 2 different colors as well, I really like this shoe, man. I think I'd mess with this shoe. I don't have anything that's purple, so that works well. I love gray. Gray's my favorite color. I think I might give these a shot, man.
I think those are pretty dope. I still have to cop the Mason Chateau Rouge.
Oh, yes, you do.
Mid, so that's the one I'm gunning for first in line of mids, but those are pretty sick, dude.
Yeah, if these were a high, I think these would go hard, and they would go fast.
I'm with you. I like the laces being different. I like the whole concept. It's just a color blocking we've never seen. And dude, those are Rockies.
Yeah, dude.
Gray and purple like that.
For sure.
I think save your money and just go get a pair of Dino Juniors.
Dino Juniors.
Dino Juniors, huh?
I don't even know what that is, Jalal.
I don't either, actually.
Nike SB highs.
I don't remember those. Nike SB High Dino Junior.
Dino Juniors? Why don't you pull it up on the screen?
And why'd you say save your
I thought
money?
you guys would just all know.
Why'd
well,
you say
they're definitely
save
going to
your-
be more expensive, but I'm saying save your money on these.
Oh, I was about to say what?
And put your money towards the Dino
Yeah, I've
Juniors.
seen those. Those are not. That's what the shoe I was thinking of. Those are not. Jalal, those look like. Put the Dino Juniors on the page so people know what you're talking about. Dino Juniors are like a space shoe, bro. It's like what the guy said in the chat when he tried to click Patreon. It took him to space.
Spaceship.
Took him like outer space. That's what these look like. These are cool, but it's like you're about to hop off. They're all silver with purple laces and a character on the back.
Already sounds like I'm out and I haven't even seen them.
Dino Juniors. I don't know, Jalal.
That sounds like some cereal, Jalal.
You've seen. Well, maybe when you see the shoe, you've seen them. I don't know. It depends on how SB you were.
Oh, yeah,
But
those are awful.
Those are. They don't look the same.
Those are awful.
What do you mean?
It's just the
same?
colorway. They don't look the same.
No way. I think the other ones look.
Way sicker. Those I'm out.
Yeah, you could never. Oh my gosh.
Oh, dude.
Were you walking around in some moon boots like
Those
that?
are some moon boot stompers.
Oh, the Dino Juniors.
Those are the Napoleon Dynamite joints.
Yeah, and they say Dinosaur Junior on the other shoe, I believe, like around the back heel tab. I would never.
Yeah.
It says Dinosaur Junior around the back side.
Now, with that, Jordan, to go back to the one that I brought up, the mids, how they're dipped. Now, is this going to be an upcoming trend that we don't know about that we're going to find out about? We look at the night joggers from Beyonce. We look at the Jordan 1 mids now
With what
being
being
dipped.
sorry?
The tip.
Oh, the lace tips?
No, the tip of the shoe.
I'm
How
not
it's
understanding.
dipped in purple.
Oh.
And then you have the
I didn't look at it as
Beyonce.
dipped.
No,
Sorry.
and then you have the Beyonce night joggers that I got you that'll be
Half
here
and
on
half.
Wednesday. Is this kind of a trend that we don't really know about that is starting to happen that is going to become a standard? Just wondering.
I don't know about a standard, but I could see it being a new thing that people
little
copy
trend.
and a new, yeah, just like a little light wave real quick.
And you think it works? Because you got the night joggers. And now you're not opposed to these. So obviously
I'm interested to see those night joggers. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to
Have
see
you
them
been
in hand.
seeing the pictures of the
Yes,
night
that's
joggers
what I'm
in
interested to
person?
see.
Yeah,
I
it
have.
looks a lot different.
People's night joggers are looking.
I think they freaked those pictures.
Yeah,
pretty
they
Well,
good.
the pictures look like a mandarin orange, and the actual shoe in hand photos are looking volt,
like voltish, like
Volt
really
orange,
crazy
which I
color.
like. I'm a fan of that. So I don't think when I get the volt that I'm going to be turned off.
Right.
But I really did like the tangerine or mandarin type of color that
I
I
like
thought
that
they
one
were
better. Yes.
in the photo.
So you don't feel duped yet?
Nah, not yet, but I haven't seen them in person. I don't have mine in hand. I might be feeling different on Thursday. I might be coming in here. What the hell is going on? But yeah. You would have flipped shit for those Dinosaur Juniors back in the day, Mr. Daniel. I probably would have. Back when I was 5.
So
Wasn't that a band? Dinosaur Junior?
that is a band.
Oh, what do they sing? Baby Shark? Kids band? Oh.
No, they do not.
Sounds like a Nickelodeon show.
Dinosaur Jr. is like an alternative band, I think from early 90s.
Nice. T-Mobile. Some good knowledge there in the chat. Even Siri's deaf now, he said. I'm sorry again about that. Were you trying to pull up those pictures?
Of the Ivy Park?
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter.
I looked, but I couldn't.
Nothing good. Okay, cool. I just saw you working. All right. Anything more in sneakers, Dal?
That's really all I got, man. We'll have the Ivy Park collection, at least a couple of pairs of the shoes coming in on Wednesday, so we should have those for Thursday's cast. And we'll also have the Dunk AM90 infrareds
Nice.
for next cast. So, yeah, something to look forward to.
Love it. Let me do a little bit of let me read a couple YouTube comments here brought to you by Pure Spectrum CBD. There's only a couple of them, but if you guys like to get involved in the show, you're unable to join the chat live, make sure you go on YouTube, man. Leave a comment on the Most Underrated podcast, and if I feel like it's worthy, we'll go through and read them, bro.
You bet.
Especially if you have an opinion on some shit that we're talking about, you want to get your opinion onto the show. Until we can do callers, this is the way we got to do it. Jalal and I were talking the other day. We're about to get that setup going, man. We're about to get some callers.
You bet.
Shit going.
So again, like I said, today, YouTube comments brought to you by Pure Spectrum CBD. Today I wanted to talk about just a little bit of the cannabinoid oil. What I found out here recently is I'm not a big coffee drinker, so I drink like some juice in the morning to get started or whatever. Robin's a coffee drinker. We've been putting a little bit of dabs of this into our coffee and into our juice this morning, and it seems to kind of get us going a little bit, man. Get our minds right. We seem to get a little sharper, a little quicker, right? Sometimes in the morning it takes a little while to kind of wake up, and I think that's probably due to some of the MCT oil that's in it, some of the other natural organic ingredients. Really,
that has
really
MCT
good.
oil in it?
It has a little bit, just very,
That's
very
great.
small amounts.
You know, I used to, have you ever heard of Bulletproof Coffee?
I have.
So I would make Bulletproof Coffee and you would dump some either coconut oil, MCT oil, something like that. So there's no, that doesn't surprise me that just got you kind of going a little bit. Cause that's.
You down with MCT?
Yeah, you know me.
It is MCT oil. Damn it. You down with MCT? All right. You don't drink coffee though.
No, I don't.
Sorry, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So that probably got you really because you're not used to coffee.
Kind of sharpens you up a little bit, so I can have great arguments with Robin in the morning, which is really, really awesome.
Why?
But
Why?
Again, to kind of get your day right, to get your day started, we have had some good results with this, and I would challenge all you guys to give it a shot. If you're not a morning person, turn yourself into a morning person. In terms of organic MCT oil, 0.9%. So again, if anything, just to get your day started right, try some of this CBD oil. PureSpectrumCBD.com. Enter MUP for 10% off your entire order.
This first one here, Blake P. Disappointed I missed the live yesterday, but glad to have the cast back in action. Settling in, listening at work now. Gonna live comment as we go. Dow, delivering groceries is hilarious to me because it's obvious he doesn't even shop for his own household. If Robin is having their groceries delivered, buying a car specifically for that purpose would be below not good.
Below not good.
I don't think it's just for that. I think it was more travel back and forth to the studio as well from his crib. It's a little bit far. For me, it's right in my backyard. So a little bit of that as well. I don't think it's directly for the, not to speak for you, but yo, TTF, little Jeopardy knowledge for you. In Mexico, they just call it Coke, not Mexican Coke. I know, bro, but when I got out of the Jeep, homeboy that was guiding our tour, bro, guiding our beach cruise, said, this lady over here will let you use her restroom if you really need to and you can't hold it for 20 more minutes. If you can hold it, great. If not, she'll let you use your restroom. She's also selling popsicles and Mexican Cokes. That was his words verbatim. So when I came on the show, it popped out Mexican Cokes. I apologize. Best cruise I ever went on sailed from Venice, Italy to Barcelona, Spain. And it hit several ports in Italy, Greece, and Croatia. 10 days long. That's sick. Close behind would be Australia and then New Zealand. Caribbean and Mexican cruises have been okay, but not nearly impressive ports with excursions and things to do, especially when you consider general safety if you're venturing out on your own. Wife wants to plan a Disney cruise with the kids over Easter break, but I don't know if I can do a whole week with Mickey Mouse. Blake, coming through.
10 days sounds crazy.
That does sound crazy.
That's a long
I don't care
time.
how many ports, I'd be going crazy on that ship.
Yeah, I thought I might have been going crazy on the 7 days. There's a lot of shit on there, dude. There's a lot of shit to do. There's a lot of floors. There's a lot of back and forth. There's a ton of stuff to do. I mean, And I imagine that one's bigger than ours.
Yeah, it's definitely its own city within a city.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. Depends on the
Need
person.
some Wi-Fi on that joint.
Right.
You need some Wi-Fi.
Yeah, depends on if you're really trying to disconnect or not. Next up, the Homie 6. Solid cast, gents. MLB fallout is beyond sign stealing. Teams were issued warnings about cheating prior to the 2017 playoffs. With manager challenge rule changes, teams spent huge money on AV staff, cameras in the dugouts, displays, etc. Using this level of tech and real-time electronics communication goes at the heart of the integrity of competition, laying off junk, knowing when fastballs are coming, etc. From a cheat system, not just when runners are on base, etc. Worse, this cheat ranged from management, ignored by the commissioner, Rob Manfred's warnings. They didn't enforce the rules to stop cheating. The players to the players that cheated. It will be interesting to see the players' reactions and consequences. I know someone else asked in the chat earlier. Thank you, Sixer. If we think the players will be punished. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go. I have no idea. I'm like the Michael Jackson gift, just sitting down with the popcorn, just watching. I'm interested to see because it sounds like MLB brushed off the buzzer thing. Like, we already investigated that. There's nothing to it. And it sounds like they're not really looking into it. So we'll see. It's going to be very, very interesting. 41 watching and only 15 likes. I'm confused. John King, me too. I'm very confused. But as we wrap up the show today, thank you guys for coming in the chat, man. Thanks to everybody that donated in the super chat, commented on the live. Appreciate all of you guys always being locked in and watching. Like John said, make sure you hit the like button as you leave the podcast today, man. We would really appreciate that. Anything more from you fellas? No?
All good.
I don't think so.
I think we're going to hit the Aaron Hernandez documentary on Thursday. I watched it over the weekend. You need to check it out. I think we'll talk about that, give you guys some opinions. So if you want to follow along and if you have an opinion, make sure you get that shit watched. And we'll talk about that on Thursday's show. In the meantime, in between time, you get yours.
I'll get mine.
And I'll see you fools tomorrow, Thursday.